It's time to add some spice to your nooner. Nooner funny. This is the place where big-time guests, bold opinions, and little cute doggies come together. This is Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus, the #1 rated windows and doors in Columbus.
All righty, welcome aboard on a wet and wild Wednesday. Is it Wednesday? I think it is. Rothman and Ice, Anthony Rothman to my right. He sauntered over from his TV cubicle, and he is the one and only Adam King.
I thought you'd have trumpets for me. I'm a little disappointed.
Those are coming later.
Okay.
We'll see how you do.
Just making sure.
Well, I have 2 house rules.
Okay.
I have 2 house rules.
No shoes?
One, well, no, don't go shower shoes. I already give him don't wear flip-flops to work unless it's a weekend, and then maybe I'll allow that. No open-toed shoes here during the week. But the house rules today are you are not allowed to say over the next 3 hours that you grew up watching me as a kid.
Oh.
All right, that is not allowed. And secondly, you're also try not to swear. And if you do swear, don't try to amplify it with another word in front of it. Just keep going. Don't draw any attention to it. Yeah, I don't want to hear a swear word with an amplification before it.
Well, my question is, how quick are we on the beep button here? Are we,
See, here's the other deal. This is what they think of me. I'm on what they call, there's a fish has a pay no mind list. It's like a legal pad, and the heading says pay no mind. I am number 1. All right. So what happened is CB went on vacation. Ice went on vacation. The Employee of the Month, this is his reward for winning Employee of the Month. Eric Reeser has said, I will stay. And by the way, in sports radio, being Employee of the Month in June is considered the best ever that you could be. It's the most important month in sports radio. So we've crowned him Employee of the Month for June, and his reward is to stick around and play producer for the next 2 hours.
Do you think Reeser did that solely so that he could see me? Because I never see him. He's here in the morning. He's gone. I think it's just so that he could spend some time with me.
Yeah, I would argue your presence is my present.
Oh, my gosh. See, happy Employee of the Month. There you go.
The other thing, and Timmy Hall on the update desk for us, which is outstanding. Now, he mentioned Jaron Duran. I would have gone with the Jaron Duran that he was hungry like the wolf last night, and he won the MVP. Exactly. The
other thing, when I saw him in the dugout, because I kind of jumped back into the game and he was putting his helmet away, and I saw the screen was actually spinning on his back jersey, and I was actually singing a Duran Duran song when I saw him.
I'm very proud
there
of
you
you.
go, Anthony.
The other thing I want to ask you, and I don't know this because you've been over there, because you said that the Open Championship starts tomorrow at Royal Troon in Scotland.
Yeah.
I'm unfamiliar with this. Is it in the UK or is it in Scotland, or is that considered the same?
So let's get this straight now.
Yeah.
Scotland is part of the United Kingdom.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. You've got no Ireland in that mix.
No,
You've
that's
got
just water between.
No. Ireland's just not a part of the UK.
Right.
Northern Ireland is, as well as Scotland, England, and Wales. I'm shooting from the hip there.
I'll say this. That feels like a very political answer. He tried to divert us. We weren't talking about Ireland.
I don't know.
So it is in the UK.
He said, just to be clear, Ohio, not in the UK. And that's not what we asked, Timmy.
All I want to know is, you said the Open Championship starts tomorrow in Scotland. Is that factually correct, or is it in the UK?
Well, I believe both would be factually correct,
okay,
right?
That's all I need
Is
to know.
it a rectangle square thing?
Scotland is a country that's got the cool flag, blue, with the white cross.
Now he's doing the flag
in
thing.
the middle.
That's correct. All right.
And I mean, I know when I was in St. Andrews, I was in Scotland. We were talking about Scotland all the time. Are we saying that it's not really a country? That it's just gobbled up by the UK?
Timmy,
no. I thought there may be some sort of a border that defines Scotland versus the UK, or is Scotland's all part of the UK?
Scotland's part of the UK.
Yeah, that's
England's part of the UK.
That's right.
I believe they're getting closer to the border of England.
That's right.
As you get down there at Royal Troon, which is on the West Bank.
Okay.
The one question we wanted to get to here.
Yeah.
When you were playing St. Andrews, did you wear a kilt, and was there anything under it?
I would like to wear a kilt,
especially when you're playing golf. You wouldn't have to talc up or anything.
Well, you got right. I mean, you're perfectly fine down there. It's a perfectly sane temperature to play golf with nothing
Especially
under the
when
kilt.
when you're putting and then someone can really say what happened. Did the skirt blow up in your face? Then it actually works, right?
Well, because
When
you
miss
have, yes, and you have the great trade winds out there in Scotland, which make things kind of interesting with the kilt.
Phenomenal.
All right, so it's factually correct to say that obviously Scotland and England are part of the UK, and the Royal Troon is in the UK, but that means it's also in Scotland, not in England. Is that what we've come to?
Definitely not in England.
Definitely not in
Certainly
England.
not. It's closer to Glasgow than it is to Edinburgh, the other city where you would fly into to go to St. Andrews.
And it's not the sea, it's the Firth of Clyde.
Firth of Clyde.
That's right.
Now you've got it.
Did you see him light up? They're just so happy to see you say
They're not
that.
bays. They're not harbors. We have to be different.
That's right. All right. Well, he's all, they need to be different. To shun, to push away. That's what we'll do with Tim Hall today. All right. Thank you for that geography lesson. We'll have Schefter on today, ESPN Senior NFL Insider, so get your questions ready. Let me ask you this. Because you're sauntering over from a world that I used to live in television, and your normal days off are what? Are you working today, or did you just do this special today?
So my normal days off, in a dream world, like if everything's going as planned, it's Wednesday, Thursday.
Not too bad, but I would rather have Thursday, Friday, but I could understand.
I will say this, and this is what a lot of people don't think about. I love working weekends because
no management.
You get 2 weekends.
Oh.
It's not that no management. It's just the idea that, like, it's a Saturday and things happen on Saturdays. And so, college football happens on Saturday, NFL happens on Sunday.
Games, highlights,
stuff.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, on a Monday afternoon, everybody's got a case of the Mondays and you don't have a lot going on.
You got to entrepreneur it, my friend. That's what you have to do. I will say that in television, when you're kind of that anchor / general assignment reporter, you do not want to have Mondays and Tuesdays off. That's a crap shift right there. That's not good, because if you work till 11:30 on Sunday night doing the news, and then you got to be back at 9 a.m. on Wednesday, then that's horrible. Think about the difference. You get off Wednesday at 6:30 after the news, and then you have Wednesday night, Thursday, Friday, and you don't have to be back into Saturday at 2:30. It's a full extra day off. And I probably shouldn't have told management that. They already know that probably. That's a big deal to be off Thursday, Friday versus Monday, Tuesday if you're anchor / reporter guy.
Nicole, if you're listening, please turn down the radio. We don't want you to hear that.
No. Your brand new sports reporter, Nicole Sheeran, Ed's sister, is going to be sauntering in here because I told her that this is her first. I didn't tell her that. I said, this is your first assignment.
And you're
in here.
You have the worst off days. Is that what you said? Get in here. You have the worst off days.
I'm going to coach her up. Tell her to renegotiate. Change the schedule.
Hold on. If those renegotiations, then I'm going to get stuck with Monday.
By the way, doesn't that make sense, though?
No, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
It's like almost
and just to be clear, for the longest time, I had Monday, Tuesday off in this business. It's, it is what it is, but, such is life.
People are sending me, Rich sent me like a map of the United Kingdom and Great Britain and Ireland. Yeah, no, I know where they are. I just wanted to know where the border of England and Scotland is so I could decide whether Royal Troon is in Scotland or England, and Tim cleared that up for me. So we should be good to go.
I'm looking up where Royal Troon is.
The British Isles. You're going to be going to, we're sending you not overseas, but you're going to the Big Ten Football Media Days next week.
I am. A lot of people say that reminds them of Royal Troon.
What will come out of that you feel will be newsworthy?
That's a good question because so often. Sidebar real quick. One of my first days on the job here, I asked Ryan Day, I said, Ryan, I'm curious in a presser.
By the way, that's all.
And so Rothman came up to me and said, hey, just to let you know, you're asking a question. We assume you're curious. And so, since then, I'm like, oh, that's a very good point. It's a very good point. So back to
what it does is it amplifies your curiosity.
Yeah.
So when you hear that at a press conference, and we hear it every week, you will hear certain people, I'm sure I did it in the past, will add that as kind of a preamble to the question. I'm curious. And what that's doing is you're trying to tell the coach or whoever you're interviewing, hey, I've thought about this. I care. This is interesting to me. I'm very anxiously anticipating your answer. Great eagerness is going on here. So when you drop the I'm curious, that's supposed to kind of be one of those, oh, wait a minute, everybody pay attention. He's curious.
How much for me to include every one of those things you just said into one question?
I don't think you could do it. The other one that's interesting to me, and I know you've heard it, is the reporter that says, some people would say.
Yeah.
That's the start of the, hey, there are some people that would say that you're probably not doing this correctly, or you should have done this different, meaning you're taking yourself out of that mix. What I'd love a coach to do, and I'll tell Coach Day to say this, throw this right back at the reporter and to say, are you one of those people?
Oof.
I just want to make sure. We want to all be clear. We want to all be on the record. If things are getting on the record. So when the reporter says, that some people would say that you guys, could have been a little more aggressive there in the fourth quarter. Are you one of those people? I just want to make sure which side of the aisle you're on, sir. That'd be another one.
That would make a lot of people halt in their tracks. I could see someone like Nick Saban doing that.
Keep an eye on that.
All right. You're gonna tell Ryan to do that?
I mean, I could suggest it. He probably already knows, but I think he's an incredibly nice guy in those press conferences.
Oh, he is. He's phenomenal.
So
going back to Media Day, I think Media Day is interesting because it provides two things. And these last 2 years have been interesting because we're not getting quarterbacks. Because the biggest question walking into Media Day has been, who's going to be the quarterback? And we haven't gotten any clarity from Media Day. So I think it's always been just kind of the unofficial start to the football season. Everybody gets excited. It's a chance to talk to the guys a little more laid back in a setting. For them, it's really cool. I mean, this is an experience that, for each of them that they probably only get once in their career. But I don't know that we're going to walk out of there and say, hey, breaking news, we're certainly not going to get a quarterback at Media Day. And that's all anybody cares about.
Yeah, but don't you think that he at least has to kind of explain the dynamics of camp and how close it may be going in his mind and where they are as far as what would separate? We had Cardale Jones in the other day, and I was asking him about, when Chip Kelly and Ryan Day sit down and decide who is going to lead this football team at that position, what is the most important thing to them? Like, I think that is, now, they're going to list several. It's not one thing. I can't just say chemistry, leadership, work ethic, maturity, accuracy. They could throw out a ton of things. But I believe that they leveled up because in one area of kind of that grit, go get it, I need a quarterback that's willing to dive in the dirt and get us what we need. And I'm not saying Kyle would never have gotten there. He may have, but wasn't in his style. And that's what Cardale said. Certain people, you have to be who you are and ride your strengths. And I'm just curious from Ryan Day's point, and maybe this will come out next week. You could say, listen, I'm curious. I'm curious if when you start to, break down the quarterback battle, what have you prioritized as to separate them?
I also want to ask Ryan straight up, there's so much talent on this roster. There's so much excitement. What are you worried about? There's got to be something that has all offseason you've wanted to get back to camp and say, we've got to figure this out. I would say it's probably the offensive line, but I'd be interested in that.
That would be. He'll pivot off of the worry word and say, he'll say, listen, I don't know if it's worry. There's some areas we need to be strong in, and he'll pivot. But I'll be curious. By the way, I'm glad you brought that up because I mentioned that last week to Maddie, and I've listed several things on prioritizing, like if they don't win it all, why didn't it happen? I'll get you to weigh in on that as well. We'll come back. We'll stay with the Buckeyes, and I'll ask you the question about winning the title and whether you can think about this during the break. Harder, easier, or the same with this expanded playoff for Ohio State. That's next. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
If you're starting your day any other way, you're doing it wrong. Morning Juice with Bobby and Beamer.
Weekdays starting at 6.
The Fan.
Soak up the savings this summer from Family Dollar. It's never been easier. Just download the Family Dollar app, sign up for smart coupons, and see how you can save more than ever before. Enjoy smoking hot deals on cookout classics or get ready for outdoor fun with SPF for the whole family. Plus pool toys, decor, and so much more. Check out the app today and get ready to save with the Family Dollar Summer Savings Event. New offers drop every week. Family Dollar, helping you do more.
Hey, it's Anthony Rothman. Help me get the MLS All-Star Game party started at Rally House in Reynoldsburg for a special event this Sunday. I'll be there 10 to noon. Meet former crew player Alejandro Moreno for a picture and autograph from 1 to 2. Even get a special MLS house-branded rally towel as a gift with purchase for the first 150 customers starting right at high noon. It's all this Sunday. Rally House is much more than just another sports store. Located in the shops at East Broad in Reynoldsburg, show your colors at Rally House. See you Sunday.
Now at UDF, buy 3 everyday favorites with UDrive Plus to quickly stack an extra 20 cents in gas savings. That includes Monster Energy and Red Bull and Gatorade and Body Armor. And that adds up. UDF, made for you. Specially marked products with an opted-in UDrive account.
Nationwide Picnic with the Pops presents the pride of the Buckeyes, the Ohio State University Marching Band. Don your scarlet and gray and join the Columbus Symphony for a night of fight songs, battle cries, Carmen, Ohio, and more. Special guest appearances include Brutus Buckeye and the Ohio State cheer team. Pack your picnic basket and join the fun at the first big tailgate party of the season, topped off with fireworks. July 26th and 27th. Get your tickets today at picnicwithapops.com.
Are your feet stopping you from being active and making it difficult to get healthier? Trade in your bad feet and start the new year with good feet and get healthy in 2024. Wouldn't it be nice to work, walk, and play pain-free again?
Here at The Fan, we give you 14 hours of live and local programming every day. We care about you. We live and work in your community, except Bo Bishop. He won't tell us where the hell he is. Your live and local station, except Bo. The Fan.
When an orthopedic injury or condition gets in the way of life, there is nothing more important than finding a physician you can trust. At Orthopedic One, you'll find Central Ohio's most trusted team of orthopedic experts, ready to listen to your concerns and work with you toward the best possible outcome. In fact, more people trust Orthopedic One than any other practice in Central Ohio. Start with the specialists. Start with orthopedic1.com.
Contractors, builders, apartment managers, listen up. There's a new cabinet company in town, Choice Cabinet. Over 60,000 in-stock cabinets ready for you. They want your business. Call them 216-378-9313 or online at choicecabinet.com.
Get your air conditioner fixed fast. Call Care Heating and Cooling, 1-800-COOLING.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
This radio commercial was made to convince you to stop speeding. We can't use siren sound effects on the radio, so we'll use other equally jarring sound effects to get your attention. Like telling you that whether you drive a little over the speed limit or a lot, you can crash just the same. You could hurt yourself or worse, others.
I'm at the scene of the collision.
And the damage you cause will be beyond repair. See? We didn't have to use crash or siren sounds after all. Speeding catches up with you. Brought to you by NHTSA.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Today, we're looking at clouds and showers. The high will be 81. Tonight, look for partly cloudy skies, low 64. Tomorrow, look for clouds in the morning, sun in the afternoon, with a high of 80. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with a look at your 10 TV weather impact forecast on 97.1 The Fan.
Bet365 is the exclusive online sportsbook of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
No one funks up the work microwave like these two. Fish again? You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
Adam King in for the Iceman. Adam does sit across from the microwave where the Iceman cooks his meals.
No more broccoli.
I would tell you this, and Reeser will know this because he sees the Iceman around. If I had an ounce of that kid's discipline when it comes to eating, I mean, I would be in the greatest shape ever.
You are in the greatest shape.
Maddie, because we do a lot of food talk at the station if you haven't been listening. And Maddie talks about a lot of stuff that he likes. And I will tell you, in all the years I've known him, and I went to Vegas with him for 4 days for the Super Bowl, I have never witnessed this man eat anything that would resemble a sweet or a carb. I've never seen it. I hear it. I hear him say it. And he says he could produce some receipts for me, but I've never seen it. Have you ever witnessed in your time, and I'll ask Reeser this too, Matty Ice eating anything that would be considered unhealthy?
I will say, I can confirm that it doesn't happen because he heats up 2 things in that microwave constantly. Broccoli, which for the rest of the day, I pack up my stuff. I'm headed over to the newsroom. You won't see me again. Woo. And then eggs. I see him with like a little tub of like black eggs. It's like a black tub that he eats his eggs in, and that's
not a lot of them.
Not a lot. You're right. It's very small.
Pecks at it. Right.
It's
amazing.
Those are the 2 things he goes
unreal.
And he goes back and forth.
When food gets dropped off here at the station,
he doesn't eat it.
At the old location in the brewery district, we'd get a lot of food drops, and he would say to me, he'd say, "Hey, Arv, food just came. Hey, get down." I'd be like, "Okay, great." And we go, "Yeah, let's go down there," and we'd all go down. And he would watch everyone eat. And he would get the calories and the cholesterol as kind of a wafting. He wouldn't eat it. I've never seen him eat anything that's ever been dropped off at this station or any catered event or any town hall meeting, anything we've ever had. Reese, have you seen him eat anything?
No, I think he's living vicariously through you, especially at the old location when he'd wrangle everybody to go down there. But I have a theory that when he's by himself, then he's eating sweets.
I don't
think so. You think that it's like 2 in the morning and he's just down and
necessarily gorging himself, but I think he indulges.
Okay.
I'll say this. Here's a way to do it. Ask him what his he lists them off, right?
Yeah.
Ask him what his favorite is. Like, what's the one you can't pass up? And then you get it catered to the station. And then you have him walk past it and
you won't do it during the day.
He won't
do
it
during the week. He will never admit it to anybody he considers a coworker.
Well, Tyvus is the same way. Tyvus is on everybody about eating healthy, and then Tyvus will eat a pint of ice cream you'll see online, and we're like, whoa.
I'm also convinced that's somewhat of a gimmick now. And like a professional wrestler, the commitment's so strong with Tyvus in that gimmick that, that's what we have.
I mean, and I'm all for it. I want Maddie, but when we talk about it on the show, he will say, I love, because CB will ask us, what's your favorite this, what's your favorite that, and he'll bring up some amazing things, and we'll look at him like, when did this happen? When will this happen? It'd be amazing. I think he's the weekday ultra disciplined guy. Possibly what Eric's saying on the weekend, maybe, but none of us have ever seen it or witnessed it.
I think it's happening at 2 a.m. I think it's just bowl of cereal after bowl of cereal.
No, I don't think so. No, because that would kill everything that he does during the week, and I know he won't do that.
So much bad smelling broccoli. So much broccoli.
That's all right. I admire him for it. It's an unbelievable discipline. You've thought about the question, now in the expanded playoff for Ohio State and everybody else. Harder, easier, or the same to win a title, going from 4 to 12? My contention is I'm leaning easier. And I'm leaning easier because the most talented teams will get that bye week.
Mm-hmm.
And it will be massive at the time. And the other part about it is that if there's an upset anywhere, that can only help them. And I may be on the wrong side of this. Where do you stand?
I think it'll be easier. And here's why. It kind of exactly what you just said. One, the Ohio State-Purdue year, the Ohio State-Iowa year. Really, any year in the playoff era, Ohio State would have been in the playoff. And so 2015, you wouldn't have had a problem. So that eliminates that. But also, if Ohio State truly is one of the best teams, like you said, it'll still just be a 14 playoff for them. It'll be, it's not going to be any tougher if they go out there and win week in and week out. So it's going to give you a chance if you stumble to get back in the reins, and it's going to, if you're really good, it's going to be the same tournament for you anyway. So it's the best of both worlds there for Ohio State. I for one, think it's everything that the Buckeyes needed because we have looked at teams 2015. We've looked at teams 2019. Although 2019 was the playoffs, they lost to Clemson, which sometimes, you get beat on a day. But there are so many teams that you look back and say, wow, that team should have won a national title and didn't because they stumbled somewhere along the road.
Here's and by the way, that's the other big point that I made last week, is when you're as talented as Ohio State and you don't have the pressure truly of going undefeated, that adds even another layer of insulation. So if they lose at Oregon, or if they got tripped up against Penn State, if something happens where they have to circle the wagons, they'd probably be getting at least a home game out of it in the playoff. And then the other thing is Ohio State becomes the team that nobody wants to see. You want to see a 2-loss Ohio State team in the playoff? That's the last team. Unless somehow, and this is the other element of it, and we'll talk about this at 2 o'clock, that some of these teams that struggle or have weird losses and they get dropped down to like an 8th seed or something, what's their motivation at that point? Will everybody still be all in? Or could you have an opt-out if you feel like, nope, road's too long now, I don't play 4 extra?
Wait, you're saying in the playoff? Then I don't want to jump ahead of our schedule here, but I think as long as
you're just seated?
As long as you're in, you're in. Because I think there's also the motivation going on in those locker rooms of, hey, let's be the highest seeded team to ever win the national title. Let's take the path that no one else. There's a world, 17 games you could end up playing?
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you got to your conference championship game and didn't win it.
And it didn't win it. Right, so you're talking about 17 games. Let's go play 17 games. No team in the history of national champions has done that.
Think about that for a while, because I'm not so sure you get like a 10 seed and you get a guy that's going to be a first-round draft pick who's not a quarterback, and he might be like, you know what, the road's too risky. Too many games.
If that happens, I will never watch another college football game.
I'm going to hold you to that.
Okay.
And we'll have
at least for the next 10 minutes, I won't watch another college football game.
We'll come back with Adam Schefter, ESPN senior NFL insider, and we'll ask him whether either one of these star receivers will be on the move. Rothman and Ice in the Fan.
The only radio station still operating with an active booze cart. I'm drunk right now. No, I'm not. Yes, I am. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Hey, it's Anthony here for the Bath Authority. You spend a ton of time in your bathroom, and if you're trying to ignore your old, outdated bath or shower or that mold and mildew along with the broken tiles, you got to call my friends at the Bath Authority. The Bath Authority provides the highest quality bathroom remodeling products along with a world-class customer experience. And all Bath Authority products are 100% made in the USA, and they can be installed in as little as 1 day by certified factory technicians. TheBathAuthority.com. A better bath awaits.
Hi, I'm Joanna Williams, here to introduce you to Tansky Power Sports. That's right, check out our growing inventory of golf carts, electric bikes, and dirt bikes. And the fleet keeps growing. This month, come rent a golf cart for the 4th of July. We're located at 2491 West Dublin Granville Road in Columbus. Visit TanskyPowersports.com to book yours today. And when you think power sports, think Tansky.
Think Tansky. Think Tansky.
Ignite your Irish spirit at the Dublin Irish Festival, August 2nd through 4th. Prepare to be blown away as you explore one of the top Irish festivals in the US, drawing over 100,000 guests to Dublin, Ohio each year. Enjoy 7 music stages, 60 acts and more than 800 performers, epic Irish entertainment, great food and more. Get your tickets at dublinirishfestival.org before July 20 to save.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. We believe that every sport should be epic. Every home run, every hit, every inning, every play, from the moments that are legendary to the ones that fly under the radar.
Whether it's a walk-off granny or a base hit to center field, whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. 21 and older, must be present in Ohio. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Sunday is a time for brunching with your favorite people. And when they don't invite you, listen to us instead. Fan Sports Sunday with Tito and Devere Posey.
Sunday morning starting at 11.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Hi, it's Bob Capace from Worthington Jewelers. Need a perfect gift? Check out the new line of Glock watches and other stunning jewelry at Worthington Jewelers. Make every occasion sparkle with Worthington Jewelers, where exceptional gifts await.
I need a small order of sheet metal to repair something in the shop. It's not much, but can you help me out?
At metal supermarkets, no order is too small.
Wait, really?
Yep.
What about small home projects?
Yep.
For a car I'm working on?
Yep.
Any kind of metal?
Yep.
Cut to size?
Yep.
With no minimum order?
Yep.
How about 1,000 cut pieces of aluminum flat bar?
Yep. Choose from over 8,000 types, shapes, and grades of metal in any quantity you need. And yes, we're serious. Any metal, any size, ready fast. Locally owned on Wilson Road.
More and more people are falling into problem gambling. Mary Haven's experts offer comprehensive care. You and your loved ones can count on mental, emotional, and financial guidance.
Confidential and judgment-free. Go to maryhaven.com today.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-372-2017. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-372-2017. 800-372-2017. 800-372-2017.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
NFL Playbook with ESPN's Adam Schefter.
Sponsored by Bet365. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
All right, he's our guys, the senior NFL insider at ESPN. The one and only Adam Schefter. He's on the Bryant Heating Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Shefty, good afternoon.
What's going on, Anthony and Adam? How are we doing today?
Right.
How you doing?
Yeah, we appreciate you, man. Everything's good. There's been, this is the time of year where you try to find some stuff to talk about. But I think at least Brandon Ayuk gave us something to talk about by demanding the trade or requesting the trade. Maybe that's a little softer. But you can maybe, I don't know whether you're going to kind of pour water on this or not. But, when he signed the extension, I think back maybe that was Debo. He signed it during camp, or camp had already started. Bosa's holdout went the entire preseason before he got his deal. So what's your anticipation here? You got a player that's asked for a trade, a team that probably doesn't want to move him. What's going to happen?
The problem is it's not that he doesn't want to be there. It's not that they don't want him there. It's not that they're shocked. The issue is that the wide receiver market is turned upside down. And he's an important player on their team. And, again, we can have an open, honest discussion about what we all think Brandon Ayuk is, where his value should be slotted. Is Brandon?
Oops. Lost him for a sec there, Reese. See if we can retrieve him. There's plenty of smoke that's coming out of this, but I feel like, and I said this to Maddie the other day, this guy's a player. He's a player, but it's not like I feel that he's Jefferson or one of those guys. I don't know what he wants to. I don't think he wants to reset the market. Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't.
But if he does, he's not worth that. I mean, he's great, but he's arguably the second best receiver on his own team right now. And so you made a face.
I don't know if he's the second best. I think he's maybe as good of a receiver. He may be, as far as weaponry goes,
Debo's
it's probably fairly even. Go ahead, Shefty. We got your back.
Yeah, I don't know where you lost me. I was saying, where do you think he is in relation to Jalen Waddle and Davante Smith? Because, again, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, CeeDee Lamb, okay? And I don't mean that in a disrespectful way, but I think those guys are in a certain category. The next level of receiver, I think, is what we're talking about. Do you think he's worth what Davante Smith is making, what Jalen Waddle's making?
It's close. I think that I would not have a real problem with it, especially since of where he is age-wise and the team he's on and how close they've been. You could make the case for him, absolutely.
Yeah, well, and to me, that's what the issue is, right? It's like, where should he be in that little pantheon of players? By the way, he's also got a year left on his current deal right now. He's got a year left, okay? So, and the 49ers have the franchise tag. So, Davante Smith got 3 years, $75 million. Like, to me, I would bet you that's what San Francisco's thinking along those lines.
Yeah,
I think that's a pretty good comparison there.
Jalen Waddle got 28. Okay. So, by the way, what's the midway point between 25, more than Davante Smith? Listen, 26.5. We just came up with that. Right in the middle of those guys.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that seems to me like a more than fair number. To me, I don't know.
Maybe it's the guarantee that's holding it up. Maybe he's
I mean, maybe. I don't think that's, listen, you can always figure that out, So, and again, I think Brandon Ayuk is supposed to make 14 this year. If he were to play under that, which obviously he's not happy about, and they tag him after this year, and he would have played under the tag, which he wouldn't be happy with, the tag is 22, so it's 36 over 2, roughly. 36, so why do they have to go give him, way more? When he's got a year left in his contract, when they control his rights for the next 2 years if they want.
Mm-hmm.
And again, Brandon Ayuk's a great player. He's a great player. But so is Debo, so is Christian McCaffrey, so is George Kittle, so is Brock. Like, he's part of the ecosystem there. And everybody should be. I'm all for players getting paid whatever they can. But again, it shouldn't be hard to figure out the value where the breakdown occurs, and that's why he's demanding a trade, because he's asking for as much as he can, as he should. That's what anybody should do in any situation. And the Niners feel like it's more than they should be paying for him. And thus, no deal, thus trade request, and thus stalemate, which is where we currently are.
All right, Schefter, I want to jump to a different receiver here. We saw you put out a statement from Davante Adams' agent yesterday. So is this a non-thing at this point? He'll be in a Raiders uniform, or do we expect a lot more shaking when it comes to, obviously it's a television show, the receivers is, but you could see he wasn't happy in that. Where do you think we land with Davante Adams when the season starts?
It's basically a situation to me where Davante Adams, I think, is going to be there. And the Raiders plan to have him there, and he wants to be there. Now, could that change over time? Yes. Could they be 2-5 to open the season and decide before that, you know what, the Jets are winning, they're willing to give us a 1 and we'll trade him? Sure. Are they going into camp thinking we're trading Davante? No. Are they looking to trade Davante? No. Had there been any trade discussions regarding Davante? No. So that's currently where we're at. Anything could always change. It's a fun topic to think about. Aaron Rodgers certainly fuels the fire, when he says that Davante again. So I get all these Jet fans. Are Jets getting Davante? No, not to my knowledge. I got my dad texting me. The Jets getting no. They're my brother-in-law, my nephew, everybody. No, they're not getting him. Stop. Okay, let's wait till there's more substance to this. There's no substance to it right now, in my mind.
No, I think from your point of view, it's dead on factual. Certainly we have to have things to talk about, and your colleague Dan Orlovsky was saying that he thinks it's a done deal for this season.
Yeah.
Something's going to happen, like you said, that's going to make this happen. Do you go ahead?
Dan, I love Dan. But Dan also said Belichick to Washington was done, and it wasn't done. So,
yeah,
there we go.
No, I hear you on that. We talked the other day about J.J. McCarthy and whether the Vikes are going to slow play this because they paid Sam Darnold, to come in there and kind of at least. I looked at the Vikes schedule the first 5-6 weeks. It's really difficult. I'm not saying that J.J. couldn't be the starter, wouldn't be the starter. What are you hearing coming out of Minnesota on that?
Look, I think JJ's made an impression on them, but they happen to do like Sam Darnold. They do like Sam Darnold, and I don't think they're in any great rush to have to go to JJ. Inevitably, at some point, unless Sam Darnold starts the season and wins consistent, they're going to go to him, at some point. But there's not a rush to do it. It's not like Chicago where they give him the job. It's not like Washington where Jaden Daniels is going to win the job on day one. J.J. McCarthy, might win the job on opening day, but he probably won't, at least going to camp. That's the impression they've given, and he has to change that during camp. And if Sam Darnold starts the season, fine. If he's winning, they'll keep rolling with him. And if he doesn't and JJ's progress, they can turn to JJ. But there's no pressure that JJ has to start from day one.
Do you think that JJ is ready to start? I mean, do people for Minnesota think he's ready?
That's what this summer will be about. Is a rookie ever fully ready? You never know until you get into the games and see what a player is doing. He is certainly poised, accomplished, works hard. Like, he's going to pick up the system. Is he going to be more prepared to start in October than he would be September? Probably. He'd be more prepared, probably. But, again, they don't have to rush it, and they're happy with the progress he's made so far.
I do want to circle back to the Rookie of the Year here and talk about the Houston Texans real quick. They're the first team to have everybody at camp. The expectations are sky high for them. Do you think that's fair? And where do you think they should be slotted when you look at the best teams in the league?
It is fair because they had a great season last year. They completely surprised everybody. They look like one of the best young teams in the league. C.J. Stroud looked like one of the best young quarterbacks in the National Football League in a long time. And if C.J. Stroud is that again, and he is what he looked like during his rookie year, then there's no reason that they shouldn't be a playoff team every year for the next 15 or so years. Now, again, there'll be years where injuries happen, things don't go right, things that don't work out. But they will go to camp, if C.J. Stroud is that, they will go to camp every year with a viable, certified to go to the playoffs, to go to the Super Bowl, to win a Super Bowl with C.J. Stroud at quarterback. Just how he looked. And, again, if you have that position secured, and right now it looks like they did. Now, we've seen rookie quarterbacks start out fast and then fade off, but I don't think that's going to happen with him. I think he's going to continue to grow, learn, improve, get better. And if that's the case, then that's bad news for the AFC South, the AFC, everybody around him, because he's going to play at a dominant, elite level for a long period of time, making the Texans really good. So, yeah, I mean, fair, unfair, they should be really good. If C.J. Stroud plays the way he did and then some, they should be really good.
Does Adam Schefter have a reach-for-it quarterback in fantasy this year? I did last year with Jalen Hurts. I drafted him with my second pick, and it worked out for me. Do you have anybody that you would reach for this year at quarterback, or are you a wait-for-QB guy?
I'm a wait-for-QB guy. There's a lot of QBs I like. The problem there is, we all love that position. We all have great respect for the people who play it. And your draft starts going on, and you're like, I got a chance to get Jalen Hurts. I got a chance to get Patrick. I got a chance to get Josh. And you take it. And I just think that in fantasy, you're better off just sitting back and saying, okay, you know what? I'm better off getting Kyler Murray in round 9 or Trevor Lawrence in round 11 or Matthew Stafford in round 12 or whatever it may be. That's the better, safe. But inevitably, when you're doing a fantasy football draft, a lot of times instincts take over. You see a guy, you see a blank spot on your bench at quarterback, and you're like, let's go get a great guy right now. But there's a lot of good fantasy performers at quarterback.
Yeah, I think Jaden Daniels is going to be one guy's reach for. I don't know if they'll wait for him. They might just be so tantalized by the rushing ability and the intrigue of him. I could see him being a guy people reach for, and then we'll see if people want to buy into the Jordan Love stuff and take him earlier than expected. We'll see. We'll have plenty of time to talk to you about it, my man. Talk to you soon. Thanks for jumping on.
Guys, have a great day. Thank you, everyone. We'll talk next Wednesday.
You got it. Thanks. Adam Schefter with us on the Bryan Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. We come back. The Open Championship, we said, is tomorrow. Tiger motivated by a doubter, or should I say Mrs. Doubtfire. We'll tell you next. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
We've been your Jackets flagship station since day one. All the goals, all the action, all the memories. Your home for the Columbus Blue Jackets, the Fan, Ohio sports destination. Get Eco.
Hey, Aaron. Hey, Jerry. Remember when we first met?
I was just starting Eco Plumbers and looking for a silent partner.
And I had just invented sneakers with lights in them and was looking for somewhere to invest my fortune.
I didn't even think inventor was an actual job.
I didn't think plumbers started companies.
Get Eco.
ECO. As I recall, you thought the name Eco was a pretty good idea.
As a full-time inventor, Aaron, it's just that kind of creative thinking that caught my attention. Simple, memorable, singable.
Get Eco.
ECO. And it reminds homeowners that modern plumbing can make economical sense and ecological sense at the same time. Waste less water and save money on your utility bills.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Instead of just sitting here raking in royalties after inventing that little plastic hanger that socks come on, I might as well be a silent partner in a company that's doing good.
You're not all that silent, as silent partners go.
But I am charming, Aaron.
Get Eco.
ECO. GetEco.com.
We go to war for you.
If you want answers, you have to fight. If you want compensation, you have to claw. If you want justice, you need to go to war. This is attorney Robert Scherger. Don't let the insurance companies take advantage of you.
Warforyou.com.
Everyone has that one goal, that thing they want to prove. Not to other people, but to themselves. Then, right when you think you could actually do it, cancer. And that goal is still within reach. Oh no, I'm about to run my first ever marathon with my two best friends. 3 years after having cancer.
At least we look good in these shorts.
Woo! Let's get it, guys. You, keep making plans.
Visit ohiohealth.com/keep making plans to learn more.
As a local family-owned and operated company, Newman Roofing takes great pride in providing great customer experience and quality product to every job they do. From the first phone call to the end of your project, they'll know who you are. Don't just get a roof, get a Newman roof. Call 614-NEW-ROOF, newmanroofing.com.
Common Man and T-Bone.
Now, the turkey is also majestic looking. It's a little silly.
Get out of here. It's stupid.
It's majestic. Have you seen them when they're all
dumb.
puffed up?
I don't like them.
Common Man and T-Bone.
Sponsored by the Hinderer Motor Company.
Weekdays 3 to 6 on The Fan.
Scotty Vegas here from Maxima Concrete. From a basic driveway replacement to a complex in-ground pool, patio, or outdoor kitchen installation, Maxima can do it all. Pavers, natural stone, seating walls, even lighting and landscaping. Everything is in-house with Maxima, so buy from the guys that will actually perform the work. Mention 971 The Fan for $250 off your next project. Get a free estimate today by visiting MaximaConcrete.com.
Great coaching can make all the difference, especially when it comes to your money. At Right Pac Credit Union, our financial coaches are on your team. We'll help you create a winning game plan that's customized for your unique needs, so you can make the most of your hard-earned money and live the life you want to live. Best of all, Right Pac Credit Union serves all of Central Ohio, so getting in the game is easy. Let's win together. Stop by one of our Central Ohio member centers to get started today. Equal housing opportunity, insured by NCUA.
Texting enrolls you in recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
I can't believe this is real. We're finally doing our big fishing trip.
This is the year I'm doing everything I've always talked about.
Something's different about you. I feel like I'm talking to a whole new man.
Between you and me, it's Nugenix Total T that's making the difference.
Nugenix, the testosterone booster?
Exactly. Turning 40 and lower testosterone made it harder to find the drive and energy for the things that matter, like spending time with family and friends. So I tried Nugenix Total T.
That really works.
Absolutely. Nugenix is the reason we're finally doing this trip. It's why I have more energy for my family.
How do I give Nugenix a try?
Send them a text for a complimentary bottle.
Text LEAP to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. It's the #1 selling testosterone boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now, and they'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, their newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text LEAP to 321-321. That's LEAP to 321-321. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Hitting a hole in one into your ear hole. Ooh. This is Rothman and Ice.
All right, why don't we do the Cardell Jones charity softball game tickets at 1 o'clock?
We'll give away a pair. We'll give away 2 4-packs because I oopsie daisy didn't give them away at Bishop and Friends.
Wow!
So that gift to you.
Your air is our benefit. All right, outstanding.
Employee of the month, you said?
Well, for June. I'm on my July.
We've already clarified that.
He got the trophy. He said, "I'm done." Mail it until next year.
Go on his June stats. Absolutely. All right, so we'll do that coming up. We just got a geography lesson on Great Britain from Timmy as he came back in.
It was phenomenal.
I just wanted him to do a lot of work today to let us know whether Royal Troon was in the UK or Scotland or both or what. And so I really kind of monopolized his day. He's got a new Scotty Cameron putter. He's making love to that thing over there for 2 days.
Did he get one?
Oh, yeah, he got one.
Oh, because I heard that he didn't get one there for a while.
Well, I'm surprised you didn't hear because everyone did hear.
Oh, everyone did hear.
Surprised
well, I've been off the last 2 days, which has been good because I did that intentionally.
Yep. Real tomato ketchup, nothing but the best. He needed a Scotty Cameron. All right, so speaking of the Open at Royal Troon, by the way, if you're going to tune into one thing, and I'm not sure, I think it's the 8th hole. What is the postage stamp? Is that 8? I think it's 8. I think if the tees are up and the pin is up, that could be the shortest par 3 in the history of major golf. Like even shorter than 7 at Pebble, yardage-wise. Maybe you could look up the postage stamp for me. Now, wind is the key, as everyone knows over there. We don't know over here, but I'm a learned guy, and so it's supposed to be very windy on Friday, according to meteorologist Mickelson. And so controlling the ball in the winds and all that, it's going to be, there's a rail yard there, like there's a train that comes through, and it seems like a pretty cool course. And so it's all about iron play and precision and battling the wind and bag setup and what clubs you're going to have in there. So my heart tells me that I want Rory McIlroy to have the ultimate comeback here. You know, you can't keep a good man down kind of deal. So 10 years and 38 majors, that's his winless streak. So will the 39th be the charm? Who knows? He's 7.5 to 1. I like Victor Hovland at 30 to 1. I do. I think there's value there. His worst finish at an Open Championship is tied for 13th. So we'll see. I think he could really make some noise at Troon. The other guy I love, who I loved at Memorial, but there's reason to love him, is Colin Morikawa. I think he's right in that 20, 25 to 1 area. Let me tell you Morikawa's major finishes this season. Tied for 3rd, tied for 4th, tied for 14th. And I just looked on Bet365. He's 14 to 1. Now, he hasn't won a tournament this year, but he's showing up.
He's been there every week
in the biggest events.
Yeah.
And I would say he could be due for a breakthrough. The sleeper pick, and I love taking the sleepers at the British Open, which I'll still call it. I know it's the Open Championship.
The Open. The Open
It's because good shots can be not rewarded out there. You don't know where they're going to end.
Wind and everything.
You just don't know where they're going to end up.
You're exactly right.
They're going to roll into some thick thatch somewhere, a pot bunker somewhere.
You get in one pot bunker, and it could change your whole round.
Yeah.
Could ruin everything.
Or one thick thatch.
One thick thatch.
That's right. Exactly.
Hey.
You get into one of those, and it could be a problem. The other guy I would say is this guy that kind of popped up recently, the Frenchman, Mathieu Pavone. He's 150 to 1, and he contended at the U.S. Open. Now he's back on the Euro soil. He may have a little magic. Maybe avenge the Jean Van de Velde whole problem that he had back in the day. So that's it for me. Like 4 guys that I'll probably, maybe Tom Hoagie, 200 to 1 because he's a good iron player. I'd throw in there. But for me, it's Rory, Victor, Colin, and Pavone if you made me pick 4.
Okay, if I've got to pick 4, I'm going Sahith Theegala. I liked him at the Memorial. You know what really stinks is that I love Oberg. I think he's phenomenal. And now he's plus 1,200. That's not, you're not getting any odds there. I mean, that's not worth it. He's come on that quickly. I'm digging through the you could throw John Daly at plus 200,000. Why not throw down $1 and, ride John Daly?
Well, we could take that $1 and throw it in the middle of this table, and I could light a match to it if you want to make it go away faster.
Well, but, you could watch John Daly smoke a cigar. And
cigar? He's never smoked cigar. He's
cigarette.
He's a dart guy, absolutely.
That's true. I apologize.
The over-under is on how many packs.
I like Kurt Kitayama out there. I'm going through. I'm trying to give you long shots.
All right. While you're thinking of that, E, because I think I do like the sleepers. I do, especially out there.
Well, but I think Oberg's going to win it. So I think, there you go. He's the 3rd best odds.
Yeah, but the Lude, he did not do well last week. In fact, he was in contention, and everybody thought he was going to
Sunday.
Everybody thought he was going to win until he wasn't.
You know what?
Yeah,
he's always right there, just like Morikawa.
What are his odds? Do you know?
He's plus 1,200.
All right.
Yeah.
On Oberg? 12 to 1?
He's third. Exactly. He's the third best odds.
So there's been a lot of stuff today this week about Tiger and him clapping back at Colin Montgomery. For those of you who don't know, let me give you a little bit of a history on Colin Montgomery. When it comes to majors, 5 runner-up, 6 top 5s, 7 straight years, this guy was the best European player. In the 90s, 93 to 99, it was Monty. And not only is he majorless, he's kind of North American-less because he didn't win here either. And people were saying, well, how great of a player could he be if he couldn't win in America? The guy was amazing. He lost playoffs. He lost the 95 PGA to Elk, I think. He lost in sudden death. He lost the 06 Open, but people forget that Mickelson was behind him, so he hadn't won anything yet. And then Mickelson blew up there. Who knows? He said, his quote was, "There is time for all sportsmen to say goodbye, but it's very difficult to tell Tiger it's time to go. Obviously, he still feels he can win. We are more realistic." What he meant by that is we of the seniors, we're more realistic about what we are. Now, that when you drop that realistic word, that's what kind of needled it a little bit. And here's Tiger's response.
You've given so much to this game, you've given so much to this championship. But, there was comments, last week from Colin Montgomery who said, why is he here? He should retire. There's no point to this. Do you feel that's a bit hurtful and you've earned the right to make the decision when you decide?
Well, as a past champion, I'm exempt till I'm 60. Colin's not. He's not a past champion, so he's not exempt. So he doesn't get the opportunity to make that decision. I do.
That's what I mean. You've earned that. You've deserved it.
So when I get to be at his age, I still make that decision. Well, he doesn't.
That's fine. And that's a fun answer, and it's his answer. But the follow-up is, let's get back to the crux of the story. Do you feel it's realistic that you could win here? And if he says yes, boom, I'm all for it. Great soundbite. We move on. But you want to get to not the, here, Tiger, let me tee this up for you so you can smack it in Montgomery's face. I think you want to get to, is he right or is he wrong?
Are you ready?
Do it next. A lot of buildup. You got to learn radio, my friend. We'll get to your answer. And Deshaun Watson has spoken. Is he cleared for camp next week? Could be a little bit of gray area there as well. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
Whatever you're doing right now, just know that Bo Bishop is enjoying a sip of bourbon. Even if this promo is playing in the morning, no judgment.
Ah, sweet morning drinking.
The Fan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts is your exclusive in-person advance sale ticket outlet for the 2024 Ohio State Fair. Discount admission tickets are $8 at participating stores. Enjoy food, entertainment, animals, rides, and so much more at the Ohio State Fair, July 24th through August 4th. Get advance sale tickets now through Tuesday, July 23rd. Only at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Hot under the collar? Call Care Heating and Cooling and we'll fix that fast. 1-800-COOLING.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect the ways water is breaking down your basement and damaging your home. Mold, cracks, and of course visible water are just a few signs your basement is compromised. But there's one way to get answers to all your concerns. A free home inspection from Ohio Basement Authority. We put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at ohiobasementauthority.com.
Billiards Plus has everything for the master griller in your house. Come to their showroom, open the lid, and feel the difference in their grills. Professional top quality equipment at great prices with a huge selection ready to go home with you. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-372-2017. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-372-2017. 800-372-2017. 800-372-2017.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
And I'm Timmy Hall. In their last 5 matches, the Crew have won them all by a combined score of 19-2. Think about that. They torched LAFC 5-1 in their last outing. Surely the Arena District will be welcoming to the Black and Gold for tonight's 7:30 kickoff versus Charlotte. A week from today, Lower.com will play host to MLS All-Star Week. Next Wednesday, the 24th, that'll be the site for the All-Stars taking on the Liga MX All-Stars. MLS All-Stars beat those guys back in 22 in that edition of the game. Baseball, we've got the All-Star game in the books. AL beat the NL 5-3. Guardians pick up play at home versus the Padres on Friday. Reds will take on the Nationals. In golf, we got the final major of the season at Royal Troon, Scotland, Great Britain, and the UK. Tournament picks up tomorrow. This one's sponsored by BMI Federal Credit Union. Earn a $200 bonus at BMI when you open a free checking account. Visit bmifcu.org/free.
Both of these guys wear baseball hats every day, and it's because their hair is sewn into them. You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
All right, second hour of the program, Adam King in from 10 TV. And I've already assigned your brand new sports reporter, Nicole Sheeran, to come in at 1:33.
Mm-hmm.
I think the brass is taking her out to lunch today for her first day. Were you taken to lunch?
I was not on my first day, I'll tell you that.
Were you taken to lunch on your interview?
I was, and I was taken to this. It's a really classy establishment. You probably never heard of it.
Here in town?
Here in town, but it's exclusive to Grandview. It's called Buffalo Wild Wings. And the selling point was they had wings, beer, and sports.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you want to go there?
No, it was great. Where did you go?
Was it BW3 back then?
It was BW3. That was, back when I used to watch you growing up, it was beating.
You've already...
Where did you go on your interview?
You're not allowed to do that. They took me to Bravo.
Oh,
that's right.
Mr. Classy over here.
That was
must be nice.
But I didn't have the job yet. I that was for my interview.
Did the Pasta Woozy sell you on Columbus?
There was only one. It was over on. It was over off of Bethel, as you make the little crank around.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, great place back in. I mean, I don't know how good it is. I haven't been there a long time.
You ready?
Yeah.
I used to work for Bravo. I was a server there.
Well, maybe you served me.
You know what? Maybe I served you.
That's very nice.
Maybe you did.
Maybe
instead of just watching me as you were growing up,
I also served you on your interview.
I mean, no, actually, I don't think you would have been. Actually, that even aged you out, probably.
Hey, you're right.
I don't remember what I had. I think I had a. What did I have that day? You don't want to be ordering anything that you're going to splatter on a suit,
and you don't want to go too expensive.
And the pasta is not a good move on that because I don't care how careful you are. You're going to get a splatter somewhere.
Yeah, like a dry rub.
You might get that at some point. Let's do the Cardell Jones charity softball game ticks. I'm going to put the employee of the month to work. By the way, we could have just made Reese just answer a bunch of. Now that you were in today, we should have said, for the first time in a long time, we're just going to take a bunch of calls.
I love it.
All right, winner gets family 4-pack of tickets to the Cardell Jones charity softball game. This will be this Saturday, July 20th, Huntington Park. You got the current Ohio State football players against the former players. And if you aren't the winner, don't worry. Obviously, tickets can be purchased for $10 at BuckeyeCruise.com. Do you want to give away both packs right now, Reese?
Yes, 8 total tickets to 2 lucky winners. I need numbers, though.
Do you want a question they have to answer, or do you want us to make this real easy?
Yeah, that's too much work. Let's go with caller number
6.
And caller number 5. There we go. 5 and 6. 821-9710.
Yeah. As Adam says, color 6 and 5.
As you do.
By the way, biggest pet peeve ever is people that, and I'm sorry, Eric, if you do this. It's just a pet peeve for me. People that say the lower score first. I can't.
Oh, like the Reds lost 2-3?
Yes.
Yeah, that you can't do that.
I learned that early in my update career not to do that.
Did you do it?
I did do it.
You did? Terrible. Why did you do it? I'm just curious.
I went with the Ohio teams first.
Okay.
So it was never about the teams specifically. It was about if the Reds were playing and they lost.
But here's the deal. I'm not saying as we let the phones ring. I'm not letting. I'm not saying that you don't say the Ohio team first. What I'm saying is why. So you're attaching whatever number they had first. So
correct.
If the Crew lost 3-2, you don't say they lost 2-3. You were saying that
in my early 20s, yeah.
Oh
wow! I'm glad we cut that out because that's confusing and terrible.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be like you going on the air, on an NFL Sunday and saying, the Browns lost 17-23 today. That's grounds for almost firing.
There are rules in local television and all television where the away team goes on the bottom. Or the home team. Yeah, home team goes on the bottom, away team on the top. And what I can't stand about that is if the away team loses, it's 16-23. Why not just put the team that won on top and the team that lost on the bottom?
You could do that.
I like that so much better.
But people, you're giving them a little bit of extra information. On a graphic, it's okay. You just can't say it. On the graphic, and maybe we're teaching somebody something today, is that the bottom team is always the home team.
Yeah, and that's your way of knowing, okay, they were at home. But when you read it, it's very, very confusing. It annoys me when you see the Browns won 16-25. But I understand it.
On the graphic, it annoys you?
Yeah, just a little bit.
Oh, okay.
It's been a pet peeve of mine since I was a 5-year-old.
Well, and that's why I asked Eric, how long, maybe he kind of grew up doing that, and it just kind of stuck with him. All right, so he gave the
Hey, can I get my I was reared up for my Tiger take. Can I give it now?
Yeah. The only reason I cut you off is because we like to try to stay on time here in radio.
Yeah.
Unlike over there in television.
Well, the nice thing is on television, I have somebody yelling in my ear, rap, and I'm very quick. If somebody raps me, I could be mid-sentence talking like that. We'll go back to you.
I figured you'd just give him the double wave off and say, I'm talking right now.
No, I dump out. I was in the middle of an interview last week with some nice lady for the Crew, and they said rap, and I just said, okay, thanks, you're done talking. We'll go back to you guys.
A live interview.
A live interview. Because I'm not going to be the one that cuts us over time. I'm allotted amount of time. I want to stick to it. Anyway.
Be a little more efficient with your Q&A.
Rothman, you're not wrong. Tiger Woods.
Y'all.
He can win any tournament he enters.
Don't be that guy.
No, I will
Don't be like Dom at Memorial when the Hogue is winning this week.
No. I will say, and I think the Masters reaffirmed that when he won the Masters, and no one thought that he was going to win there. He can win any week. He just has to channel.
It was 5 years ago too.
Listen, Rothman,
I'm just throwing that out there. I'm not saying you're wrong. Because I was wrong. I didn't think he was going to win that year.
I think that and I don't think he needs to answer the question of why are you playing if you don't think you can win, because he has said in every press conference since the last
before the accident, by the way.
Yes,
it was named a major before he had a car wreck that nearly took his leg.
I know.
Yeah, all right.
But he has said time and time again, I will retire when I don't think I can win. Simple as that. He has said, it's probably been 30 times now.
That's okay if he says it. All Colin Montgomery said was, we're more realistic. And I think Colin probably felt like he could have followed it up with, he's different. We're more realistic. But when you say realistic, that's making the assumption that Tiger is being unrealistic. And I don't think is there some magic left for him in a round of golf? Of course there is. He's too competitive. He's hit. By the way, he still hits at a mile and a half.
I know. It's
that's
remarkable.
The amazing thing at that age, that he still can compete off the tee the way he does. But go ahead and continue. You think he can win anytime he tees up?
I'll say this. If they gave Tiger Woods an exemption for a cart.
No.
I'm just, hypothetically, if they gave him an exemption for a cart, I think he could catch Jack. The only thing he can't do is walk. I know
it's kind of integral.
I understand, but he can still shape the shots like he can. The problem is you look at him on a Saturday at these majors when he makes the cut, his body is just so worn down. His legs are so worn down. That's why I don't think he'll ever play Muirfield again. It's too hilly. He can't do it. And I think he could go out in the Open because Tiger needs a tournament where 1 under wins the tournament if he's going to win. Because he can craft himself around that course to find par. Where a lot of these young guys have to go low to win. I think there is still one more major in Tiger Woods. And I would
not a senior major.
No. One more actual major somewhere in Tiger's career. And so I don't think he's done until he gets it.
I don't believe that he will win another major. I don't think he's going to win another tournament. I don't even know if he's going to play another tournament. I mean, he'll play his own, and he'll play maybe, I don't even know. I'd have to go back and see what he's putting a lot in this run. Colin Montgomery is not horribly wrong into thinking that maybe he needs to be a little more realistic in what he thinks he can do. I feel like he withdrew from the Genesis. He tied for 60th at the Masters because after the weekend you're talking about, he wound up shooting 82 and 77.
Because his legs.
Correct. Yeah. You still have to play 4 days. And he missed the cut at the PGA, and he missed the cut at the Open. So there's really not a lot of evidence that you could really cite that would say he's got another one in him outside of maybe the Masters or if something crazy happens with his health that turns around. He's only getting older, and he's not playing nearly what he used to, which will try to help him play in some of these events. And so he'll play in the 4 majors, and he hosts his tournament at the Genesis. So that's his schedule right now. I'll bet you right now he doesn't. I don't know what odds I'd have to give you, but you seem pretty convicted that he's going to win another one. So I may just tap into that and say, go ahead. Vegas is not in the business of losing money, and they know people like to bet on Tiger. And what is he this week?
I will say
300 to 1.
I will say Vegas had Tiger at plus odds to to make the cut at the PGA, and I thought that was very interesting because I thought he's made the cut at these majors typically. It's just the weekend that wears him down, and he didn't make it at the PGA.
Yeah, listen, I'm pretty impressed by how he controls the golf ball still and how far he hits it. I do. His swing actually has slowed down because it has to, and he's still hitting the ball a mile. That means he's hitting it flush. He's hitting it with great tempo, and he's still got a little bit of mystique, but not much left. That was always a pretty big weapon to go with his talent, was his mystique, which was when he got paired with somebody, and on a weekend, they would wilt because they're playing with Tiger. Not everybody did, but
I don't think that exists much anymore. I know you're saying the same thing. I think you're probably right. I think if you put Tiger in the last group on Sunday against Brooks Koepka, I don't think he's going to wilt because he's playing with Tiger. If you put him with Rory, he's not going to wilt because he's playing with Tiger. I think at this point, it's almost more of an honor for these guys to play with Tiger, which is frustrating because he still has it in him.
I think that where we are with Tiger now, and I don't know if he likes this or not, is that people aren't talking about him to win much anymore. They're talking about whether he'll be around for the weekend. And he's not a make-the-cut guy. That's not who he is. He's not a ceremonial golfer. So in his mind, he wants to play. By the way, I have no problem with him playing. Go out and compete. He's beating a lot of people. And he still can hit the ball really well. This isn't the time where he came back and, from the injuries and he was, shanking the ball and he couldn't hit a chip to save his life and his putting left him and all that. That's not him. I give him a ton of credit. I think most people do for hanging in there, competing with the best in the world, trying to hit it, keep up with them lengthwise at his age. And so it's cool. I'm glad. I have no problem with him playing. I'm against what Montgomery said. We're more realistic. I think what he's trying to say is the Tiger's predictions about himself, what you said is, I won't play unless I think I can win. I think that's where Montgomery wanted to go. It's not that he can't be a competitor. Is he really good enough to challenge this kind of field and be in the conversation on Sunday? And the mystery is still there, whether he will or he won't. But he's 175 to 1.
You're going to look real silly when he wins this week.
I will.
And you're not even going to know where he won. Because it could be the UK, it could be Scotland. You're going to be trying to figure that out while he's raising the trophy, while he's raising the cup.
We'll do ins and outs coming up next. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
Bobby Carpenter doesn't have a mullet, but he's knee-deep in mullet energy. Morning Juice with Bobby and Beamer.
Weekdays starting at 6.
The Fan.
Nationwide Picnic with the Pops presents the Pride of the Buckeyes, the Ohio State University Marching Band. Don your scarlet and gray and join the Columbus Symphony for a night of fight songs, battle cries, Carmen, Ohio, and more. Special guest appearances include Brutus Buckeye and the Ohio State cheer team. Pack your picnic basket and join the fun at the first big tailgate party of the season, topped off with fireworks. July 26th and 27th. Get your tickets today at picnicwithapops.com.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Soak up the savings this summer from Family Dollar. It's never been easier. Just download the Family Dollar app, sign up for smart coupons, and see how you can save more than ever before. Enjoy smoking hot deals on cookout classics or get ready for outdoor fun with SPF for the whole family. Plus pool toys, decor, and so much more. Check out the app today and get ready to save with the Family Dollar Summer Savings Event. New offers drop every week. Family Dollar, helping you do more.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct.
Call 614-502-5220 to schedule your free in-home estimate today. And for every 2 windows you buy, you get the next 2 free, plus 0% financing for 60 months. Like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
Much like a vampire, we need to be invited into your house. But once we're in, we never leave. Listen to The Fan on your Alexa or Google Home smart speaker. Just say play 97.1 The Fan and prepare to be amazed. Do it now.
Hey, have you heard about Tim Hortons' new happy hour? Get 50% off summer menu drinks after 2 p.m., Monday to Thursday.
50% off?
Yeah. Try the new Cocoa Caramel Crunch Iced Cap, Butter Pecan Cold Brew, Mango Frozen Lemonade, Solar Splash Tim's Boost, and Berry Cherry Refresher.
There are so many options. That's really good.
Discover a new favorite with Tim's Summer Menu and enjoy 50% off during happy hour. Only at Tim's. Limited time at participating U.S. restaurants. Terms apply.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career and they talked to me about it.
He was done in just months.
I did do it online.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months with zero experience at My Computer Career.
It worked for me and I know it can work for you.
It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu.
Ohio's public schools are safe, welcoming learning environments where everyone can thrive, no exceptions. Thanks to the nearly 120,000 public school educators in the Ohio Education Association. We are dedicated professionals who deserve respect, a living wage, and a seat at the table when decisions are made. And we're using our united voice to demand the supports and resources our students need to succeed. Because in Ohio, public education matters.
This radio commercial was made to convince you to stop speeding. We can't use siren sound effects on the radio, so we'll use other equally jarring sound effects to get your attention. Like telling you that whether you drive a little over the speed limit or a lot, you can crash just the same. You could hurt yourself or worse, others.
I'm at the scene of the collision.
And the damage you cause will be beyond repair. See, we didn't have to use crash or siren sounds after all. Speeding catches up with you. Brought to you by NHTSA.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Looks like we have one more day of the showers. The high today will be 81. Sunshine and less humidity tomorrow with a high of 80. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday look gorgeous. Sunny skies with temperatures in the 80s every day. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with a look at your 10 TV weather impact forecasts on 97.1 The Fan.
Bet365 is the exclusive online sportsbook of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
Rothman and Ice present In or Out.
Just a little of the old in and out.
Hey, Reese, did you get Adams winners 6 and 5? Caller 6 and 5.
I got high number, low number.
Okay.
Nice.
Well done.
Congratulations to the 8 of you.
All right. Well done. Thanks for listening.
They're required to take Rothman with them to the game.
Really?
Yeah.
Then no one would call. Don't tease that. All right. Ins and outs, E. What do you got?
Are you in or out on kettle corn when you go to a festival?
Is it just caramel corn?
No. I don't think so. I think kettle corn is a little more sweet and salty. I think that's the reason people like it. It's a little lighter. I'm of the opinion that I want that, what they call the Chicago mix, which is the caramel and the cheese.
Oh, yeah. I'm in on the Chicago mix. Can we change the question?
You can do whatever you want. I think kettle corn is solid because it's sweet and salty. And so I would definitely be in on that at a festival. But if I had the choice between the mix of caramel and cheese versus kettle, I'm taking the mix.
I'm out on solo kettle just because I feel like all that sugar, it's going to get you. You're out at a festival, it's hot. You're going to feel that. I don't want that. Give me a brat or some Chicago mix and we'll call it a day.
Yes, because with the brat and the Chicago mix, your stomach will be just fine.
It'll be great. It'll be just fine.
Are you in or out on preferring Italian food over Mexican food?
Well, those are two very different things. I mean, of course, I'm in. Yeah, Mexican food is like you got to be in the mood for Mexican food, like a taco night. Italian food you can do anytime, any place, and it's so much more widespread. Mexican food is a very individual thing. Italian you can have, chicken you can have. I mean, you're golden. It's not even
so
close.
You're in, huh?
Yeah.
I got to tell you, I'm out on Italian food is great. Everybody knows that. But at times, don't you crave the Mexican food?
I don't want to scare you, but Dom's standing right there staring at us. So be careful what you say.
I just like a lot of meat.
Exactly.
Are you in or out on Ohio State scheduling a home and home with Coach Prime in Colorado?
This, I'm not really sure where this comes from. Is this something that's been talked about? Because the worry I would have is... Now, he said he was going to be at CU for like a decade. All right? Do I believe it? No, I don't. That feels like a long time. Son will be gone. I'm not saying he didn't go there to try to make something happen, but I mean, as a player, he played for 5 different teams. Never more than 5 years with any of them. Now all of a sudden he's going to coach one place for that long? I don't see it. And so it'd be very risky scheduling a home and home if you're just doing it because he's the coach.
Why are we hyping up a team that won 4 games last year? I've had enough. You know what? If they want to start being a top-tier team, then yes, I'd love to see it. But until that day, no, I don't. Why would I want to see Ohio State play Bowling Green? Why would I want to see Ohio State play Washington State? They're the same. Come on.
Yeah, I'm out on it.
I'm out.
Are you in or out on Raiders running back Zamir White as a weekly fantasy starter at running back?
I'm in because I need running backs in my dynasty league, and I'm going to need him to do well for me. If he's out, I'm out of the playoffs. It's as simple as that.
I'm in on it. I think the staff loves him out there. And when Jacobs was injured, he got the workload. I think that's all I needed to see. I think he's the man on the depth chart now. It's his show. So I know he's going to get 20-plus carries a game probably. Now, here's what I worry about. I worry about the lack of touchdowns on this team. That's what I worry about. You know, I'm big on the red zone at bats. Who'd they add? Alexander Madison, my guy from the Vikes, and a late-round running back in the draft. That's good as far as saying that Zamir White's going to be the guy. So your question is, am I in or out on him being a weekly fantasy starter running back? He didn't say he had to be RB1 or RB2. He could be a great flex play for me. And so, yes, I'd be in on it mostly as RB2 or flex.
Are you in or out on Lionel Messi being a top 5 athlete of all time?
Ooh, top 5.
This Mount Rushmore question.
Wow. Okay, so this is somewhat of an impossible question.
Yeah.
Because it's based on sometimes team athlete versus individual athlete. Do I include race car drivers? Do I include tennis players? Where am I with all this?
I mean, you got Tom Brady and Jordan. Well, you're already halfway full of the mountain. Tiger Woods, I mean, I don't have any more room.
No, I think what you're doing there is putting success ahead of best athlete in the world. Because if I'm doing that, I'm putting Usain Bolt or Michael Phelps or somebody like that.
There you go, your mountain's full.
Or Bo Jackson or Deion Sanders, who we just talked about. You're going to tell me right now that Lionel Messi is a better athlete than Bo Jackson or Deion Sanders? He may be the one of the
Bolt
or Bolt. This is an impossible question.
Try again. Come back and try again next week.
I would say no. I'm going to answer it. I'm going to say no because he put top 5 on it. That's not to disrespect him. He's been unbelievable, and I would say that anybody would have him in their top, 50 most successful athletes ever in the world. There's a difference between the success and being a top 5 athlete all time.
Did you just take this from 5 to 50?
No, I'm taking where I'm putting Messi. Messi would be anybody's top 50, but if you're going to take it down to top 5, I'm telling you right now that Bo Jackson and Deion Sanders might hold 2 positions in that top 5.
Speaking of Messi, it's not looking likely we're going to see him here at lower.com next week.
What happened?
Did you see his ankle?
I just voted him out of the top 5 and he decided not to come?
He's not going to come to the All-Star game in the same city as you.
Doing like pre-media work. He's like, well, if that guy says.
I can't see. I mean, his ankle swelled up like a balloon. They said he's out for the next couple games. You didn't in the Copa final.
Somebody got it stepped on?
Yeah, it was like rolled kind of. And I think I saw a ligament it is damaged. So I would be surprised if Messi is in Columbus next week.
Finally, are you in or out on waking up early to watch the Open this weekend? The British Open.
Sunday. Probably Sunday. 7 a.m. I don't know if I'll be up at 7. And I don't think I have to be. You know what? Take it back. I'm out. I'm not out. I'm not up at 7 watching it. I like the fact that it ends by 2 o'clock on Sunday. I think that's pretty cool. I think you could jump in, around 9:30 and feel really good about yourself. So I'm going to go, out.
Tiger doesn't tee off until 2:37 local time, so I don't have to be up early.
No, he's talking about the weekend.
I'm starting on Thursday here. Of course, I'm going to watch on the weekend. I love it. I love the Open.
You're not watching at 7 in the morning on Saturday and Sunday.
Time out. This is a true story. As a young buck, I used to set my alarm to get up at 4 a.m. and watch Tiger at the Open when he would tee off early, and I'd watch all 18, go back to bed. Listen, he's going to win.
He's going to win. You heard it here first.
At some point.
All right.
Now let's get some of that Chicago mix in the studio.
Absolutely. And after that, when you feel tired and you're lacking motivation and drive and you've gained some weight, it may not be that caramel corn. It could be low T.
Ooh.
And what I want you to do, if you're a guy in your 30s, 40s, 50s for sure, don't wait. Find out. Get your numbers. Go to lowtcenter.com. Book the appointment. Go. They have an on-site lab. You get those answers back in 25 minutes. You've been curious about it. You want to know where you land on the scale. If you've been experiencing what I'm talking about, where you've kind of lacked that motivation and drive and you're feeling tired and you don't know why, it could be low T. The experts at Low T Center have over a decade of experience in helping patients achieve lifetime and life-changing results. Most health insurance is accepted for treatment. They'll verify that for you. And at Low T Center, your BMI and health can also be evaluated for treatment with prescription weight loss medication. It really is the one-stop shop for us guys, and go to lowtcenter.com. They've been around a long time, and that's the place to go to get your numbers. lowtcenter.com. Low T Center, reinventing men's health care. All right. We have the brand new sports reporter at 10 TV, Nicole Sheeran, scheduled in this afternoon. I decided to go all in on your department, and now we get to kind of run through the paces, find out exactly what makes her tick and what she will be covering here in C-Bus. That's next. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
Winners of the prestigious Platinum Microphone Award every year, given to the best radio station in the world. No need to look it up. It's real. The Fan.
Summer's heating up at Zumbizi Bay. Slide into the action with our thrilling rides. Relax and unwind in the lazy river. Join us for $19.99 admission after 4 p.m. Zumbizi Bay, Central Ohio's largest water park. Get your tickets at zumbizibay.com.
Hey, it's Anthony Rothman. Help me get the MLS All-Star Game party started at Rally House in Reynoldsburg for a special event this Sunday. I'll be there 10 to noon. Meet former crew player Alejandro Moreno for a picture and autograph from 1 to 2. Even get a special MLS house-branded rally towel as a gift with purchase for the first 150 customers starting right at high noon. It's all this Sunday. Rally House is much more than just another sports store. Located in the shops at East Broad in Reynoldsburg, show your colors at Rally House. See you Sunday.
Get so many great deals this week with one stop at Meijer. This week's hottest deals include Southern Peaches for 99 cents per pound. Fresh from Meijer Family Pack chicken breasts for $2.29 per pound. And Meijer shredded, sliced, or chunked cheese, 3 for $5. Plus, save even more with M-Perks when you shop in-store, online, and with every qualifying prescription filled at the Meijer Pharmacy. Meijer has everything you need in just one stop. Exclusions apply. See all the deals in-store or in the Meijer app.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. 2 things about me. 1, I love Valley Ford. And 2, I love cars. Muscle cars, classic cars, all the cars. That's why I love Cars and Coffee at Valley Ford of Columbus this Saturday. It is the day to drive in your vehicle and show it off. There's no fee for any type you have, so tell your friends too. Come on out and see all the great cars and trucks this Saturday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Valley Ford. There will be food and fun for everybody, so come on out and bring your ride. Valley Ford of Columbus, Cars and Coffee this weekend. Be there.
Care Heating and Cooling. When you need a company you can trust, call 1-800-COOLING.
The Buckeyes are starting fall camp and we're tagging along. The Fan is broadcasting live August 1st through the 4th at Ohio State football practice. Morning juice and Bishop and Friends Thursday and Friday, plus live weekend programming. Let's go.
Billiards Plus has everything for the master griller in your house. Come to their showroom, open the lid, and feel the difference in their grills. Professional top quality equipment at great prices with a huge selection ready to go home with you. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
As a local family-owned and operated company, Newman Roofing takes great pride in providing great customer experience and quality product to every job they do. From the first phone call to the end of your project, they'll know who you are. Don't just get a roof, get a Newman roof. Call 614-NEW-ROOF, newmanroofing.com.
I'm Leslie from Pella Columbus.
And I'm Wilson from that other window place.
Pella has forever been known for the best of windows, Wilson, but our doors just as game-changing.
Yep, same with us.
We've got traditional and modern options, but also some really innovative stuff, like big, bold colors or tuck-away sliding doors.
But do you have the give it a little kick to open it door?
Does that mean what I think it means?
Yeah, you got to give it a good little kick to open it.
Get the windows and doors that Columbus homeowners rate the leading and most trusted. PellaColumbus.com.
With no fees or minimums and no overdraft fees, banking with Capital One is the easiest decision in the history of decisions. Kind of like choosing Derek Jeter as the pinch hitter for your baseball team.
Jeter, you're in. We need a home run.
I'll give it a try. I've swung a bat once or twice.
That's out of here. Yep, even easier than that. With no fees or minimums and no overdraft fees, is it even a decision? That's banking reimagined. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
Do you know what brand sells the most work shoes in America? Skechers. Why? Skechers has the best looking safety toe and slip resistant shoes around. They've got superior quality and simply incredible prices, but many people get them just for the style. So you can enjoy tough, steel-toed protection and slip resistant soles anywhere, even if you don't need them for work. And since they're Skechers, you know they're going to be comfortable with Skechers exclusive air-cooled memory foam. Find your new pair of Skechers safety toe and slip resistant work shoes at a Skechers store, at Skechers.com, or wherever work shoes are sold.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Finding the sweet spot between the over and the under. You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
All right, I believe, if I'm right in my research, she gave up ocean views and strolling the Strand for a sports career, and it's landed her right here in Columbus, Ohio. And we welcome Nicole Sheeran to the city, 10 TV's brand new sports reporter. Good to see you.
Thank you for having me on. I'm excited to be here.
And you get to sit. I mean, I know that I dragged you in here with Adam King because this is your little cubicle mate here. Although
greatness.
When the looting began, he decided to move desks. I don't know if you knew that.
I think I gave it at least 1 or 2 hours.
Do you know that you're in the cubicle that he abandoned?
Oh, I know. He also stole a monitor
I did.
We'll talk about that later. It's
Yeah,
fine.
I did take one of the monitors, but magically they replaced it without taking mine back. So we're good.
Right.
I like when this happens. I think you're fairly big college football fan. Am I right? You're a Bulldog?
I am.
All
I'm
right.
a Bulldog.
So, but you grew up in Cali.
Yes.
Right? So, and what part of Cali? LA?
Grew up in Manhattan Beach, California.
Oh, so LA.
Yep. So small beach town, 30 minutes south of LA for people who don't know. But
All right.
yes.
We'll do a little quiz on that.
Small beach town.
Yeah. Small little
people in Newark, Ohio are going, sounds brutal.
Yeah, exactly. You can only see the ocean from 80% of where I live.
Yeah.
That's cool. So what got you from Cali to Georgia?
So mom's from Georgia, dad's from North Carolina. When I was applying to colleges, I was that girl who wanted to go out of state, thankful that my parents were supporting me in that. I applied to every Southern school you could think of. It's kind of ironic because I wanted to avoid cold weather and the snow when I was going to college. So I applied to Georgia, Bama, Tennessee, Texas. I mean, the whole South. And
so the SEC.
Yeah, exactly.
So the SEC, pretty much. And then, funny, Georgia really wasn't on my list, but my whole mom's side of the family's from there. We were visiting my grandma. I went to tour it, and I just fell in love with the place. And then I ended up there. And as their slogan is, it's the best 5 or more years of your life. But I did it in 4. But yeah, I loved it. It was great.
So were you in Georgia when they played Ohio State?
I was. Yep.
Did you also feel that Ohio State should have won that game?
We're talking about the game, correct?
But the game?
Yeah. The game. Like the kick game.
Yeah. Yes. The kick. Wow.
The kick.
They're just calling it the kick.
Around here, we just call it the moment everything went real quiet and everybody just kind of sat there.
We call it the targeting.
No, really, all bias aside, yes.
Yeah.
Ohio State should have won that game.
Imagine we are sitting in Central Ohio. This is great. And she said, all bias aside, Ohio State should have won that game.
That. No, I love that.
I was just thinking the same thing.
Yeah, it should be.
Ohio State should have won that game, hands down. I will never forget it. I was working that night, but I had done an early story, so I went back to my apartment, sitting in my apartment watching that game, yelling at the TV screen. I thought Georgia had lost it. I was already in tears. Yeah. But, Ohio State
Stetson did what he had to do. Took him down the field, made the big play and all that. And then and the kick was the kick. The difference is Ohio State had just made, I think, a 48-yarder a few minutes before that. And then here's the 50-yarder. And
well, that was the kicker, but that was it, is that they just made that one. This one was a gimme, almost, in my eyes. But
oh, yeah, absolutely. No, at that point, the only thing I would say is that Ohio State they probably could have gotten him closer.
Right.
That's a pressure kick. That was the one. I don't want to relive it too much.
Yeah, we don't have to relive it.
But no, I'm happy that the rivalry's there for you, and I'm sure you're probably hoping it happens again.
I totally am.
From this side of it.
Absolutely. Yeah. I know, you see all those things out there on social media about which teams are going to be in the national championship. I mean, I want to believe it when I see it on the field. But it is fun to see that people have Ohio State and Georgia in a national championship this year. Like, that's fun. Now, if that happens, different story. But it is a fun little rivalry, if you want to call it that.
I cannot wait to hear you and Dom at a round table with Ohio State and Georgia at a national championship game.
No, listen, that is absolutely going to be must-see TV. The only thing I would say is, from Georgia's point of view, the amount of games, that they've, obviously in the championships they've won, there is a little different mentality, certainly going into this year for Ohio State and Georgia. I'm not saying Georgia's complacent, but I know there's a massively different approach here from Ohio State's point of view to take care of business against Michigan before they even get a shot at Georgia.
Absolutely. Yeah. Obviously, Georgia's got that fuel to the fire still. But the thing that Georgia fans get nervous about is you don't want to get too comfortable, right? Yeah. They're kind of going into it knowing that they're top dogs, but they also have some bad blood losing to Bama in the SEC championship.
Mm-hmm. That's 2 puns.
I was about to say, what are you counting over there?
He likes to distract people.
That's what I'm good for.
But like you said, Ohio State, they want to beat Michigan. Let's do that first. Then the rest take care of itself,
I love her.
She's been here today and she's got it all figured out.
I think that was a subtle. There's plenty there to keep you busy.
Oh, wow.
Let's worry about, right?
I mean, she's not wrong.
No, she's absolutely right. I love that. That's very cool. When you and you came from Waco?
Yes, Waco, Texas.
Okay. What were you covering there?
Baylor Bear country.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, lots of Texas high school football, obviously. If anyone's seen the show on Netflix, it is exactly that, Friday Night Lights. But Baylor football, Baylor basketball, we dabbled in baseball, softball, all the sports. I had a lot of fun. Waco's kind of like, that I feel Adam can attest to this. Your first real market kind of has a special place in your heart. For me, that's Waco. So, yeah, too, exactly.
Yeah, no, it's very
was
cool.
That, 1870? You were in...
Well, that's the foundation over here. Yeah. Come on. Let's keep it straight. Nicole Sheeran is with us. I asked you before you came on if I was going to pronounce your name correctly, and I said, is it like Ed Sheeran? And you said yes. But there was a very odd thing going on in your family that I don't understand. Explain it.
Very odd thing. So when I say my name, I say Nicole Sheeran. My mom says Cindy Sheeran, but my dad decided to be the weird one and say Bob Sharon. So it makes it really confusing.
That's just a whole different name. That's not the same name.
The way I say it, when people ask like you, I say it's like Ed Sheeran, but spelled differently. I'm not related to him, and I'm going to throw that out there now. Not related, not cool like that. Could be.
Yeah. In your family, anything's possible. It sounds like you could just say.
You could just say it. I mean, your dad's Sharon,
And not only that, since your parents pronounce it differently, you could just spell it differently.
That's exactly. True. Yeah. You're totally right.
All right. So I'm kind of obsessed that you grew up in Manhattan Beach. That sounds like almost too good to be true. So I admire you for going out and venturing out, stake your own claim and all that, because I would have never left. Beach volleyball.
Yes.
Overrated, underrated? Where do you stand on that?
No, I love it. I played beach volleyball growing up. Like, you're going to hate me for saying this, but my life growing up was surfing before school and going and playing beach volleyball.
Unbelievable.
Which is, I will say, though, going to school in Georgia, and like I said, my parents are both from the South, you really take those things for granted. You take for granted being so close to the water. Now, I didn't live
Did you just say going
ocean.
to school in Georgia, you take things for granted? It's beautiful in Georgia, too.
No, it is. But I'm saying being so close to the water.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
You take that for granted, right? Getting to drive 5 minutes down the road to go to the ocean or playing beach volleyball. I will say something about beach volleyball, hard sport. Pro beach volleyball players need some respect on their name because it is the hardest sport. How do you jump in sand like that? I don't know.
Yeah, a lot of training, Adam says.
Yeah.
I only
running on the beach.
I will say this. Growing up in Gahanna, Ohio, I spent a lot of time surfing in the morning.
Right.
And then, the beach volleyball, I didn't get around.
Creek.
Alum Creek. Yeah, Creekside and we had a lot of fun down there.
Yeah.
Just to be clear, we're all just jealous at this point. The jokes are jealousy. It just hurts a little bit.
Have you ever taken a scenic drive in Manhattan Beach in a classic car?
Oh, you're going to laugh at this.
Like a 57 Caddy or some kind of 65 Vet or something.
So my dad, for the longest time, had a T-Bird, a Thunderbird. He got rid of it probably 4 years ago. That was a really sad moment when it left the neighborhood on the trailer.
Yeah.
And we were like, bye, see you never. It didn't really work, though. So it was kind of a pain, if anything. But now it's really funny. Y'all don't know what my dad looks like, but he's
Mr. Sharon.
Mr. Sharon. There you go.
Dang
He
it.
stole your thunder. He drives a Mini Cooper convertible.
Okay.
And it's the cutest thing seeing our two little dogs in the back seat, him driving with the top down. I mean, classic Manhattan Beach poster right there.
That's what I'm picturing in my mind. Have you ever uttered the phrase, let's go there, it's the new hot spot?
Have I ever uttered that phrase?
Yeah, out in Manhattan Beach.
I don't know if I've ever said hot spot. Maybe I've said like, oh, let's go there. It's this new new hip. No, I don't even say that.
Okay.
You got to catch me in my element.
In her element.
She lived the life I'm dreaming about, Manhattan Beach.
Where most of us retire, she was born.
They have aquarium there?
They do. Actually, what's kind of cool, there's a very small Manhattan Beach aquarium. I don't know if you've seen a picture of the Manhattan Beach Pier.
I've seen pictures.
It's right at the very end of the pier. It's right in there. It's a little rotunda.
I've heard
it's really
about
cute.
it. Yeah, and I've heard they don't even charge you to get in. They just hope you leave a little donation at the end.
That's exactly right.
Help the marine life.
Exactly right.
So what are you most excited for about Columbus?
About the city itself?
Yeah.
About saying goodbye to Manhattan Beach.
Yes.
So excited.
We've hyped them up enough.
They've had their moment. Now we move on. I will say, as y'all both know, I think moving around is an adventure, and I have never been to Columbus before, being here during my interview. So exploring a new city is super exciting to me, and a new state for that matter. Never been to Ohio besides the interview. Working with you guys, obviously.
Right answer.
Yeah, I had to get that in there.
Tremendous.
Yeah.
But, when I was looking for where I wanted to go next, I wanted to have a big-time college presence while also getting that pro aspect, while also getting to live in a cool city. And this really just checks all the boxes.
It does. We will have snow. I'm sorry to break that to you. Maybe
I'm
not
a little
surf and
nervous
snow.
about
It's a little
that.
different.
Yeah.
Hey, I
learn
like
how to
skiing.
ski. Right.
I like that.
All right.
Snowboarding's fun, too.
You also like to jump out of planes, is that correct?
I do, willingly, which is weird.
Yep. I would just like to say...
That I can't do. Sorry.
I saw it on The Bachelorette on Monday night. They jumped out of a plane.
Maybe you're a candidate.
So
and
Adam
I thought,
watches The Bachelorette.
Adam's applied to be the Bachelor.
I love The Bachelor and Bachelorette. And when they jumped out of the plane, I said, you know what? I'm going to do that one day. And that's the
Adam,
closest.
let's go.
Tandem jump out of the plane.
That's the closest I will ever get to jumping out of a plane is saying that I might do it one day.
So I have a story about Bob Sharon.
Okay.
He and I went skydiving together.
Oh, wow.
For his first time during Christmas. Now, I won't expose how old he is, but he is an older man, but he kills it. He is
Bob, if you're listening,
I didn't do you dirty.
you're
dad,
25 years young.
Exactly. But we went skydiving together in December, and he wants to do it again. So I'm down to go skydiving.
He wants to tempt fate again.
Yes.
You did it once.
Yeah. You lived through it.
Nothing bad happened. Let's try it again.
Exactly.
Okay.
Let's just go until the parachute doesn't open.
Yeah, one of these days. Exactly.
I think it's outstanding you're here. I give you a lot of credit for taking the leap of faith to come to a place you've never been. I think you're going to love it. You were at a big program, obviously. You're covering a big program with Georgia. There's so much here in town you're going to just fall in love with, and it'll be awesome. Where did they take you for lunch today?
We went to the Rail. I think it's called the Rail.
That's right down there. That looks good. I've never been.
It was great. I had a chicken sandwich.
All right.
Really good.
They took him to B-Dubs.
Yeah,
so.
B-Dubs.
Yeah.
They wanted to watch.
Wings, beer,
They wanted to
Fun
see
fact
if he licked his fingers after eating wings. That would have been a tiebreaker.
I didn't know what B-Dubs stood for until about a year into my time in Texas.
Oh. Hey, are you a Whataburger fan?
Okay, so I've only been twice, so maybe that answers your question itself. Only had the honey butter chicken biscuit. That's all I've had there. So
The sweet Jerry Emig is listening right now. Yeah. Great man. He got everybody Whataburger when we were down in Texas for the Cotton Bowl. Oh. I can't stand it. It was absolutely terrible. Too many onions.
Hype. It's really not all the hype.
You
Would
told
you say too many
take
onions?
this and throw it back.
Yeah, Jerry, I really appreciated the burger. Too many onions.
Well, here's the deal. Open invitation. You're not far from the studio door, so we'll be in touch, obviously. Good luck this week. Hope you make it through the week. If you do, then you'll stick around. If too much time with this guy over here, he did move desks and gave you the lesser one.
Really did.
I want you to know that for the record.
Yep.
Thanks for that.
Absolutely. All right. Nicole Sheeran, welcome.
Thank
From
you, guys.
Manhattan Beach to Georgia to C-Bus. We'll come back with the Buckeye Bulletin next. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
We've been your Jackets flagship station since day one. All the goals, all the action, all the memories. Your home for the Columbus Blue Jackets, the Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Boss on your back, break away from the office, and head on over to Delaware Golf Club. Grab a group, play 18, and afterwards, unwind with a drink by the Fire Pit Bar and Patio. Online booking makes it easy to secure your tee time. So come check out Central Ohio's home for premier golf at Delaware Golf Club.
Murphy Tractor and Equipment is your source for John Deere construction equipment rental. We rent high-quality equipment and attachments with add-on options in TopCon precision construction technology. Whether you need 1 week or 6 months, we rent a variety of equipment to help you get the job done. All our rental equipment is fully serviced, fueled, and ready to get to work. Let Murphy Tractor be your first choice for your construction equipment rental needs. Visit us online at murphytractor.com.
Come play Skyline's 75th Coney Hunt game. Use your phone to search for virtual conies, tap to collect coins, and redeem them for exclusive Skyline merchandise at participating Skyline restaurants for a limited time. Details at skylinechili.com/Coney Hunt.
Direct auto insurance is for uncompromisers. Like Matt. When his old car insurance got so expensive, do you think he walked until his sneakers wore out? No, because he found savings with Direct Auto so he could drive instead of compromise. With savings of up to 25% on state minimum coverage, you too can stop compromising and keep driving. Get a free quote at directauto.com or a store near you. Savings vary, terms apply. National General Group, Winston-Salem.
Hi, I'm Joanna Williams, here to introduce you to Tansky Power Sports. That's right, check out our growing inventory of golf carts, electric bikes, and dirt bikes. And the fleet keeps growing. This month, come rent a golf cart for the 4th of July. We're located at 2491 West Dublin Granville Road in Columbus. Visit TanskyPowersports.com to book yours today. And when you think power sports, think Tansky.
Think Tansky. Guess what? Our ugly faces are on YouTube. Search 971 The Fan and watch all your favorite shows. Laptop, phone, tablet, smart TV, we're everywhere. Bring us in the bedroom with you. Yes, The Fan.
Nationwide Picnic with the Pops presents the Pride of the Buckeyes, the Ohio State University Marching Band. Don your scarlet and gray and join the Columbus Symphony for a night of fight songs, battle cries, Carmen, Ohio, and more. Special guest appearances include Brutus Buckeye and the Ohio State cheer team. Pack your picnic basket and join the fun at the first big tailgate party of the season, topped off with fireworks. July 26th and 27th. Get your tickets today at picnicwithapops.com.
Need assistance with door and window projects? The Home Depot can help. From inspiration and materials to ordering and installation, our free Millwork virtual apron service can get you moving and doing. Plus, we speak Spanish too. Our associates can help you tackle complex jobs without you leaving the job site, saving you time and money. Call us at 1-833-HD-APRON or visit homedepot.com/MVA. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
If you're looking to move out of your parents' place, you could really cut expenses by bundling your car and renter's insurance with Progressive, which is good because your little brother has gotten really territorial. You're blood related. You'd think it would be fine to share food in the fridge. I mean, who writes their name on every individually wrapped slice of cheese, Tyler? Still, you gotta admire the commitment. So bundle your renter's and car insurance with Progressive and use the savings to help you move out and have all the cheese you want. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company. Coverage provided and serviced by affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. If you need a new roof, but you're not sure you can afford it, no problem. Right now, Able Roof is offering no payments, no interest until 2026 for qualified buyers. Yep, that's the same Able Roof that's been voted the #1 roofing company in Columbus by Consumer Choice Awards 22 years in a row. Want more? Able Roof will give you up to $1,000 off a new roof, siding, or windows. This is a limited time offer, so call Able Roof today.
Call Able for the proof. 444-ROOF.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Columbus, Worthington, Air, and Bryant. Doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
Rothman and Ice present Buckeye Bulletin.
Sponsored by Logan AC and Heat Services. Feeling the heat? Call the experts at Logan Services now for hot deals on train systems, including 0% APR for 60 months.
All right, a little Buckeye Bulletin time. By the way, we'll give away the family 4-pack to Zumbizi Bay at 2 o'clock when we tag out producers in the tag team event we have working today. The captaincy for Ohio State. You're not built for 3 hours of radio, are you?
I am.
I just saw the biggest yawn I've seen in a while from a co-host.
No,
That's awesome. See what happens? Because Don was asking me last week, hey, I hear you have an Adamant. I'm like, well, you can come in too. He's like, then he played the, now when are you on card?
Yeah.
When am I on? Noon to 3, sir. Been that way for a long time. 3 hours, and then I got this kind of like a little bit of half head shake. See? Not built for it.
It's the post game for the crew tonight that might be a little tough.
Okay. The 3 players they're sending to Indy, Sawyer, Emeka Ibuka, and Denzel Burke.
Mm-hmm.
If they went, it feels to me like those 3 will be captains. Why would you send them, right?
Yeah, no, I think you're probably spot on there. I'm jotting down names. I think they will for sure be captains. I think there are going to be a lot of captains.
6 again?
I think it might be more. I mean, I think you're looking at a lot of guys that are seniors this year that you don't often see a Buckeye team with this many seniors that are playing a massive role. I mean, I could make a case for so many guys on this team. I also think that sometimes with
they vote too, though, right?
Yes, but like, are you not going to make Trey a captain? Trey's got to be a captain. Jack's a captain. You know, when you go through this team, JTT's a captain. JT Tuimoloau, sorry, remove the extra T. I mean, Ty Hamilton could make a case.
Ransom?
Josh Fryer, Ransom. I mean,
I'd say Donovan Jackson?
No, Donovan Jackson.
Okay.
I mean, this is just, it's an absolutely, Ty Lee could make a case. I mean, it's an absolute packed senior class.
You're right. I mean, they've got 24 players who are either 4th or 5th year, right?
Mm-hmm.
You've got 16 of them projected as starters this year. And now there's a lot of precedence for this. They've named 6 captains every year for about 7-8 years, maybe more. And then Ryan Day last year said, let's rein it in These are the three voices I want: Tommy Eichenberg, Cade Stover, and Xavier Johnson. So how many captains this year?
Didn't even mention Cody Simon. And then do you make Will Howard a captain if he's going to be your starting quarterback?
Depends how the voting goes.
You probably want your starting quarterback, who's a graduate, to be a captain. I think we might just have the entire team on the field to flip the coin.
Yes. That would be quite intimidating. My team is on the field. Who are your captains, Coach? They're out there.
They're out there.
All of them. Yeah, listen, like Ryan Day said, every team is different. And got to have they're either going to have a top-heavy feel to this, where you have three guys that everyone feels incredibly strong about and that are given, and it's probably those three guys they're sending to Indy, and then spread it out a little bit. It feels like to me that 6 will be the answer again. But you said so many seniors, guys that could be leaders, they have to identify them, and the guys they wanted, the voices of the captains. They had 9. God, I went back to 2017. They had 9.
I think they could get to 9. I think 9 is probably, I think it'd be smart to say that 9 is probably the number. They know their squad better than I do and you do.
There are so many, to your point, there are so many that deserve consideration. And guys that are seniors and have spent a lot of time at Ohio State. And here's the other thing. Guys that could have left, chose to stay.
Yeah.
You could reward them. And guys that are going to play major roles in this team. So I'll go through my head the guys that are going.
I look at someone like Court Williams, who I think Court could be up for the Block O. Just somebody that can really give this team a lift. Maybe not on the field because, Court's dealt with some injuries, but, in the locker room, building this team up. Somebody like Jalen Ballard, they may want to give the captain nod to. You know what? I'm with you. Let's just put 15 guys out there.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see where they go with this. And it doesn't always have to be, like you said, top of the depth chart guy. It could be the leadership thing. The funny thing you said about quarterback, though, is interesting because if out of camp, Will Howard becomes the guy and you name him captain, and then something happens or he doesn't live up to expectations or whatever, then all of a sudden your captain quarterback is backup. I don't know if that's now. They may not feel that way, but he's been the front runner to be the starter for a while now, ever since he came here. So we get to find out soon enough. But that will be a very interesting deal. So you're going with 9?
I think 9's the number. I'm going to circle it. I'm going to write it down. I'm going to sign it. 9 is the number.
Yeah, I have no insight there. I'm just going on history and predicting that.
Now, they did do 3 last year. So the other way to circumvent that is to just pick 3 guys and just say.
I just think if the voting is real broad and wide for them, then they could have more.
Mm-hmm.
If it feels like the majority of votes are coming for a top 6, then I think that's all they'll do. We'll keep you up to date on that. We'll come back after a SportsCenter update and do a deep dive. Dabo Sweeney. Getting ready for more of the same. He says so, and we'll tell you about it next. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
Unlike your deadbeat uncle, we'll never leave you stranded in a ditch when you were 6. This promo may have been a touch too specific. The Fan.
Hey, have you heard about Tim Hortons' new happy hour? Get 50% off summer menu drinks after 2 p.m., Monday to Thursday.
50% off?
Yeah. Try the new Cocoa Caramel Crunch Iced Cap, Butter Pecan Cold Brew, Mango Frozen Lemonade, Solar Splash Tim's Boost, and Berry Cherry Refresher.
There are so many options. That's really good.
Discover a new favorite with Tim's Summer Menu and enjoy 50% off during happy hour. Only at Tim's. Limited time at participating U.S. restaurants. Terms apply.
Care Heating and Cooling. Honest technicians, honest pricing. Call 1-800-COOLING.
Does our waiter look familiar?
I think he was the Plum Insurance mascot.
If all insurance companies were like NJM and didn't use gimmicks, then their mascots would have to get real jobs.
That explains the long purple hair in my soup.
No jingles or mascots, just great insurance. NJM.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. We have all heard the horror stories of someone knocking on the door to offer a free roof inspection, only to go up and illegally create damage to the roof in hopes of trying to push through a new roof to the insurance company. Rather than having to deal with going through the process of filing claims for vandalism, call a company that you can trust. That company is Newman Roofing. They've been working in the community for 32 years. They did my roof. They came to the house. I could trust them with my kids, with my wife, with my family, and they have built a reputation of honesty and integrity. They'll be honest with you on whether or not you need a new roof, whether it sustained damage in recent storms, and whether there's still life left in it. They'll educate you so you understand what is happening with your roof and answer any questions like they did for me and my family. So whether you need a roof repair or replacement, call the most trusted company in Ohio. Call Newman Roofing at 614-NEW-ROOF or newmanroofing.com.
I can't believe tax season is here already. Look at all this info I have to enter.
Phil's small accounting firm is growing in numbers.
Why didn't I take that typing class in high school?
A data entry specialist could really help him in a crunch.
I got blisters on my fingers.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
This radio commercial was made to convince you to stop speeding. We can't use siren sound effects on the radio, so we'll use other equally jarring sound effects to get your attention. Like telling you that whether you drive a little over the speed limit or a lot, you can crash just the same. You could hurt yourself or worse, others.
I'm at the scene of the collision.
And the damage you cause will be beyond repair. See, we didn't have to use crash or siren sounds after all. Speeding catches up with you. Brought to you by NHTSA.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
And I'm Timmy Hall. The Red Hot Columbus crew are aiming for a 3-point Wednesday night here. They are home at lower.com, taking on Charlotte at 7:30, trying to extend their 5-game winning streak. Baseball's All-Star break continues for a couple of days. Play will resume on Friday. Reds will head on the road to take on the Washington Nationals. The Guardians will pick up play at home versus the Padres. In golf, nothing beats waking up, sipping coffee, watching the Open Championship. I'll be hugging my new Scotty Cameron putter watching it. It starts tomorrow at Royal Troon in Scotland. First times go off at 1:35 a.m. Eastern. That's 6:35 Scotland time. Tigers in the field. Tees off at 9:37 with Xander and Patrick Cantlay. Scotty Schefter, the betting favorite. This one's sponsored by Dr. Mark Levy. If you're snoring and not sleeping, give Mark Levy a call at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or visit him online at sleepbettercolumbus.com. Breaking sports news on The Fan.
Most shows just skim the surface, but Rothman and I feel like the biggest story of the day deserves a closer look. It's time for a deeper dive.
Sponsored by Maxima Concrete. Visit MaximaConcrete.com today to schedule your free estimate.
All right, welcome back. Rothman and Ice, Adam King in for the Iceman today. Anthony Rothman on this side. We tag out producers, and Teddy Ballgame is in.
Wow.
So that's outstanding for us. This is how we do. We kind of piecemeal it together. Teddy's going to eat some middle innings for us here on the show. Actually, he probably started and ate some middle innings. Teddy will be our closer. Did you watch the entire All-Star game last night?
I thought you were talking to Ted.
Well, Ted can weigh in as well.
I watched the national anthem. I watched...
was it better this time?
It was better. And then I watched the jerseys, and I said, I can't look at this anymore.
They were awful.
They were one of the worst things I've ever seen.
So, and then you checked out?
And then I checked out.
Okay.
I'm not... my problem with the All-Star game is it doesn't mean anything anymore. My problem with the Pro Bowl, it doesn't mean anything. You got to give me something. You got to give me some meaning.
You don't want it to mean too much, though.
I want it to mean everything.
No, that crap when they played for home field advantage in the World Series, that is about as brutal of an idea there ever was in sports.
I loved it.
That's horrendous.
If you did that for the Pro Bowl, oh my goodness, how great it would be. Did you see Joe Burrow's idea for the Pro Bowl?
No, I just saw his new haircut you told me about.
Yeah, his idea was if you're going to make it, all these extra games, add an extra bye week, put it right in the middle of the season.
Oh, no, that we talked about.
Yeah, I love that. And then, home field advantage. You get to decide the coin toss if you win the
None of those guys want to be doing anything physical on their bye week like that and risking injury. Not that they would, but you know how it goes. When you're not trying to get injured, you get injured. Listen, I watched some of it. I'm not going to lie to you. The most important part was watching Paul Skeens early on. I bet him to have a strikeout, and guess what happened? He gets ahead of Quan. Since you didn't see it, I'll tell you.
No, yeah, I'm ready. I'm listening.
Gets ahead of Quan 0-2, right? No K. Pops up to short center. Gunnar Henderson, he got ahead of him 0-2. Got ahead 0-2 on both guys. Gunnar hits a dribbler back to the mound. He was 3-2 on Soto, walked him, but he kind of crossed up the catcher. It might have been it was a pass, I don't know, it was pass ball, whatever. He got crossed up. So we got to see Skeens against Aaron Judge because Soto walked. And first pitch between Skeens and Judge, chopper to third. No Ks. He was head on both guys and had 2 strikes on Soto. Bet down the toilet.
Yeah,
but that was it was a good inning of baseball, or a good half inning of baseball.
Anthony.
That's about all I needed.
Mr. Rothman, sir. Maybe we don't bet on the All-Star game.
I needed something to stay engaged. Clearly, you checked out early.
Maybe that might have helped me stay engaged. Yeah, because I was out.
Yeah, I bailed. At 5-3, I bailed, and that was the final anyway. And it's interesting to me that I can like baseball and not care about that. It's just the way it is. You can't, there's no connection to it. I had to kind of remind myself who won American League. They won with 5 hits. So that's all. That's the story.
That's it. It's the worst week in baseball's done. Although the home run derby is fun. I watch more of that than I do of the All-Star game.
Did you watch the entire home run derby?
I didn't watch the last part.
Well, that's too bad. It was
I see it on
best
Twitter.
Part.
Yeah.
Well, that's the other thing. It ended at 11 o'clock.
Yeah, that's too late. It's too late. I had House of Dragon to watch.
Okay. I'm glad. Listen, your honesty is applauded.
That's much more important. I watch sports a lot, all day, every day. If I can get away with some HBO Max House of Dragon, I'm going to do it. Here's
a little bit of the difference between what you do and what I do. You deal in highlights.
Yeah.
I have to talk about it. So it's hard for me to talk about something or have an opinion on something if I haven't seen it. It's possible that people do that, but that's the difficulty.
You just say wildly outlandish things. Ask me about the All-Star game last night. Ask me again.
How was the All-Star game?
I thought it was the greatest All-Star game I've ever seen. And I'll tell you, the jerseys, they were a little on, I didn't like them. But really, when you think about it, Judge getting up to bat in the first inning there against...
You didn't know that.
That was great.
Against who?
Was it Paul? It was Paul, right?
Yes, that's his first name.
Yeah, well, we're on first name. We're on first name basis. Just like...
I think we just defined the difference between TV and radio. And I've lived them both, almost half and half. And I never said I would, but I'm getting close. And that is the difference. The difference is in the detail of, I could go into Channel 6, Teddy, on Saturday at 2:30 in the afternoon, never having seen a game, and put together a 6-minute sportscast. And come off as I had seen everything. Because all you're dealing is the result and the highlights. And for what we do is different. And now Adam's getting a full taste of that, which is awesome.
I will say, I watch everything that I cover intently. But, like, the All-Star game, I wasn't going to cover it. I don't need to be fully, like, every Crew game, every Buckeye game, Blue Jackets are always on. You gotta know what you're talking about in that regard.
Well, here's the other thing. I don't even know when it ended last night. So, were you working last night?
I was not. I was off.
All right, so there's another reason you'd have to care about it.
No.
But if you were working last night and you had to put a sportscast together,
it probably would have made air.
Well, it would have, but it was on Fox 28, and you wouldn't be able to show highlights if it wasn't over by 11:20.
100%.
I don't know if it was. Was it?
Yeah,
over?
It was over actually before 11. It was like maybe 10:45, 10:50. It
Did
went
you
by
clock
quickly.
it when it was done? Did you call Dom and say you're good to run highlights?
No.
By the way, you want to admit it on the air now? Have you ever run highlights that you weren't supposed to?
No. Next question.
I don't believe you.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Have you? Listen, I did this back in the day. I'd call over to Metzold, or I'd call over to 4, and I'd say, all right, are we running it or not?
I have never intentionally run anything on air. I will tell you, at my last station...
Without express written consent.
Without express written consent from Roger Goodell himself. The last station I worked at accidentally ran a live stream of the World Series for about a minute and a half. Somehow punched up the wrong button. The World Series was in one of the boxes so the director could watch it. Accidentally hit a button. Boom, that popped up on screen. Boy, that was not express written consent.
Yeah, I've been at places where stuff has popped up on the air that wasn't that.
Yeah.
A lot worse.
Oh.
Things that have happened. And so.
Like your sportscast.
Yeah. No, those were all just perfect.
Gotcha.
Those were amazing.
Greatest television.
One of those. College football has lost its way, according to Dabo Sweeney. And I don't want to put him in a complete box of that he's just completely going down the road of that nothing's good about it anymore. Listen, he makes a lot of money. He coaches football. He's in an intense profession. There's pressure to win. But he spoke with the media ahead of kind of the initial spring practice back in, before spring, and he covered a lot of topics. He got back to these days of talking to the media. And Teddy, I think you have this. And I think we set this up as that even with the expanded playoff, and you think, and I asked you this, if you make the playoff and you're one of the top 12, does that mean everyone's going to be fully engaged in this playoff? You'd think by definition you're in the tournament, you'd be engaged. But he thinks maybe buyer beware on that.
Yeah, I think there's probably unintended consequences for that too, just like everything in that, probably as we see guys opting out of bowl games and things like that, you'll probably see some guys, if you're 4-4 and probably out of the playoffs, probably see some guys head off to Arizona and train. It's probably an unintended consequence. You'll probably see some situations where, like you see in the NFL, the Ravens are in the playoffs. They got locked up, right? They got the bye or whatever, and they got one more game that really means nothing, right? Because it's all about the playoffs. So do you play Lamar in that game? And that's probably an unintended consequence in college, from a tradition standpoint is, maybe you're 11-0 and you got that rivalry game. But, you play your biggest foe next week in the conference championship, and if you win that game, you're going to get a bye. So those are things that are probably decisions you'll see play out all throughout college football, and which will probably, affect traditions and things like that. But, you got decisions to make if it's all about the playoffs, and that's one change. As we've expanded the playoffs from 2 to 4, it becomes more about the playoffs as opposed to the regular season.
So he got cracked by Feinbaum on that and maybe some others. And I got to tell you, I don't think it's worth crushing him over. I don't.
Oh, well, you and I are on a different page.
I don't because, and I'm not trying to back him completely here, but I'm telling you that it doesn't have to be defined. What he said doesn't have to happen this year. Over time, you can't tell me that agents, parents, people are getting in those kids' heads and saying, wait a minute, there's generational money on the line here. You're seed 10. You got to play 4 games. You're going to be a first-round draft pick. You can't tell me that over the next years of this expanded playoff that won't go through some kids' minds. Now, maybe not for the top 4 or the ones that are getting buys. And if you're in a leadership position like a quarterback, but he's talking about the whole thing, not just opt-outs. He's talking about strategy, workload, all that, time, the management. You don't think any of that exists or will?
No.
Really?
Not with the playoff. If you're out of the playoff,
just because you're in the top 12?
100. Does it happen in the NCAA tournament? No. Players don't opt out once you make the tournament in basketball. And listen, the idea
is different from an injury standpoint in basketball. I'm not saying they can't, but you can't compare college basketball to football when it comes to risking injury.
Listen, there are 2 different ways to look at this. You can take a school like, I don't know, SMU and say, okay, you just made it in, but you've got a star and he wants to sit out. But they want to go win the tournament. They want to go win the playoff and be an upset. If you take a team like Michigan State and they get to the playoff, nobody's going to sit out because they want to go shock the world. If you take a team like Ohio State or Georgia, they're not going to sit out because their goal all year long has been to win a national title.
You don't think anybody on any of those teams that are seeded, 8 through 12, might say, this is too long of a haul. I'm not going to risk it.
No, I don't. Okay. I will say this. Nothing is 100%. So, of course, somebody could somewhere along the line. But I think that would look worse on an NFL. No NFL, scout is going to say, oh, you sat out the Cotton Bowl.
I think we're past this. I think the NFL deals in talent, and I don't think it's going to be a massive character flaw because we've had guys that have sat out Rose Bowls. I know it wasn't the playoff, and that didn't harm them. Didn't harm Garrett Wilson or Chris Olave.
You're talking about sitting out what the ultimate goal is. If you sit out, it's hard for me as a scout. Character matters, whether they want to admit it or not.
I'm not saying it's an absolute character flaw either. You're saying that it would be.
Yes. I think that I have no problem with players sitting out non-playoff bowl games. But if you're sitting out what the ultimate goal, top thing circled on the chalkboard day one, and you still have that on the table and you sit out, then I have a problem.
Forget about the opting out. What about the part where he said that they could strategically sit out a game that maybe doesn't impact their ability to get a bye?
I think he's speaking in absolutes, and he's speaking in like he's talking about things that could happen. That's not gonna happen. There's no world where an Ohio State player is sitting out against Michigan. There's no world where an Auburn player is sitting out against Alabama. And quite frankly, even if you're saying, okay, they're playing Florida Atlantic week 12, well, they were going to sit out in the second, third quarter anyway because they're going to be up 35.
I think that's what it is. I agree with you on it'd be very tough to sit out a rivalry game. And by the way, you'd also be making the leap, and this is where I don't back, you'd also be making the leap that there's a mathematical equation where that game really doesn't matter.
Yeah.
That'd be tough to call. Now, you could get into your conference championship game and still win it, and that's what he's saying. Now, where he may be going with this is if a guy's on the fence, if he's 50-50, and, hey, we know we're live, we know we're playing next week, we know this game technically won't impact that, then maybe that would be. The unintended consequences he's talking about, I think, are somewhat real. I don't know if I would blow it up like he did, but I think he's being honest. I don't think he's just totally gone off the deep end. I don't.
I think he's off the deep end.
All right. Well, and by the way, you'd be probably in the majority because I think the popular opinion on him now is that he has turned an about face on the game that he loves to coach.
Even though you're wrong in this,
yes,
you stood up for your side very well. Well done. Even though you're clearly on the wrong side.
All right. You will be on the right side if you call Teddy at 821-9710 and get the family 4-pack to Zoombezi Bay. The winner is going to receive that family 4-pack. And this is who's making waves in sports because a lot of waves out there at Zoombezi. I'm going to drop A's rookie outfielder Lawrence Butler making waves. He's been so hot since the start of July, and 3 home runs in 1 game on Sunday. You may have seen that on a sportscast, but not if Adam King was actually the one delivering it. He was demoted in May, but he's been amazing, batting .317, but 3 home runs in 1 game, and Lawrence Butler is now making waves in the MLB. Do you have a question? How about this one? We had the brand new 10 TV sports reporter on, Teddy, Nicole Sheeran. I asked her where she kind of lived in a place that was kind of a dream destination. I'll tell you during the break what that answer is. If you know it, call Teddy at 821-9710. He'll give you the tickets. We come back with pre-snap reads. Patrick Mahomes perhaps will rival all of Adam King's humble brags in 1 comment. That's next. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
If you don't like listening to the Morning Juice, Bobby Carpenter's man nipples will punch you in the face. For real.
You want to fight, do you? Weekdays from 6 to 9.
The Fan.
Hey, it's Anthony from my friends at Germain Honda of Dublin. It's time to strike. 0% APR up to 36 months on all new 24 Accords, 25 Civics and Honda Pilots, and CRVs. How about a 24 Passport or a Honda Prelude, even a 24 Ridgeline? Rich is throwing it out at 0% APR up to 36 months. Only from my friends at Germain Honda of Dublin. They're on Sawmill Parkway, just south of 270, with approved credit. See dealer for details.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
I'm Leslie from Pella Columbus.
And I'm Wilson from that other window place.
At Pella, we use the newest technology to show you exactly how new windows would look on your home.
Well, we keep it simple at our window place. We use a number 2 pencil to draw what your house will look like with our new windows. See?
Oh yeah, that definitely looks like a number 2.
Thank you, Leslie. Wait, I see what you did there.
Get the windows that Columbus homeowners rate the leading and most trusted at PellaColumbus.com.
Whether you're a seasoned pro or a new golfer, think beyond the green and head over to X Golf Columbus and X Golf Powell. Come experience the most advanced and accurate golf simulators in the world at X Golf. A fun venue with great food, excellent service, and a full bar. You can play around on one of our 50 courses, take a lesson from our PGA Pro, hit the driving range, join a league, or just sit back and sip a beer on the outdoor patio. Book your tee time today at playxgolf.com. X Golf Columbus and X Golf Powell, the home of indoor golf.
If you miss a little, you'll miss a lot. Search for your favorite fan shows wherever you get your podcasts and subscribe. Every episode comes right to your phone absolutely free. Modern technology, it's a hell of a thing. Do it now. The Fan.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. If you need a new roof, but you're not sure you can afford it, no problem. Right now, Able Roof is offering no payments, no interest until 2026 for qualified buyers. Yep, that's the same Able Roof that's been voted the #1 roofing company in Columbus by Consumer Choice Awards 22 years in a row. Want more? Able Roof will give you up to $1,000 off a new roof, siding, or windows. This is a limited time offer, so call Able Roof today.
Call Able for the proof. 444 Roof.
At Glow Fiber Business, your business is our priority. With prepackaged and customized fully fiber optic solutions, Glow Fiber Business delivers the fast, reliable, and scalable fiber internet your business needs to grow, all backed by the superior local customer support you deserve. Glow Fiber is here, and we mean business. Call 1-833-WANT-GLOW or visit glowfiberbusiness.com to switch today.
Ohio's public schools are safe, welcoming learning environments where everyone can thrive, no exceptions. Thanks to the nearly 120,000 public school educators in the Ohio Education Association. We are dedicated professionals who deserve respect, a living wage, and a seat at the table when decisions are made. And we're using our united voice to demand the supports and resources our students need to succeed. Because in Ohio, public education matters.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Today, we're looking at clouds and showers. The high will be 81. Tonight, look for partly cloudy skies, low 64. Tomorrow, look for clouds in the morning, sun in the afternoon with a high of 80. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with a look at your 10 TV weather impact forecast on 97.1 The Fan.
Bet365 is the exclusive online sportsbook of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
Rothman and Ice present Pre-Snap Reads.
Sponsored by the Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
All right, first of all, Teddy, who knew that Nicole Sheeran grew up in Manhattan Beach, California?
That would be Donald. He won the tickets.
Donald, well done, man. Enjoy Zumbizi Bay. They're making waves out there, and you will as well. Thanks for listening. All right, a little Bet365 time, because at Bet365, we don't do ordinary. See for yourself when you sign up today and get $150 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. All right. I gave you my odds for the British Open, so I have a little 4-pack here to crack open. I'm going with Rory at 7.5 to 1, Victor Hovland at 30 to 1, Morikawa at 14 to 1. Kind of put him out of order. And then a couple of my sleepers, Matthew Pavon at 150 to 1 and Tom Hoge at 200 to 1. Where are you?
Okay, so my favorite, I think you ride Ludwig. He's at plus 1,200.
The Lud?
Ludwig Oberg. You ride Ludwig. I really like him. I think Tony Finau has been up there a lot as of late. He's starting to put it back together.
I like that.
Somebody like Max Homa, I think you can get good odds on him. And then if you're looking for that real long shot, I didn't mention Sahith, but I'm all on the Sahith train. But if you're looking for a real long shot, I like someone like Kurt Kitayama to kind of shock everybody.
All right. No guarantees this week. I know you like to play the guarantee card. Like, this guy's definitely going to win.
Well, Oberg's going to win.
Okay.
I mean, it's not. I don't know why we play the golf tournament.
I really want Rory to win.
The problem is there's just too much on him.
I know.
You just can't really want someone to win so bad. It's just.
I just think
much.
everything he's done since then, it seems like he's come back to earth a little bit. And I'm going to play the 10 years and 38 majors are enough card.
You don't think Colin Montgomery wins?
Mrs. Doubtfire? No. not going to win. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Bet365 is the official sports betting partner of the Cleveland Guardians, and you can download the Bet365 app today. Must be present in Ohio, 21 or older. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply.
And may the odds be ever in your favor.
All right, little pre-snapper here. So Mahomes is at camp, strolls in, said he brought a TV because he wants to play college football EA, and he also wants to watch the Olympics. So good for him. Little college guy moving back into the dorms, has what he needs. Let me know if you think this is a crazy humble brag by Patrick Mahomes because they wound up winning the Super Bowl again last year. They're going for the first three-peat ever in history. They did finish 11-6, so it wasn't a perfect year, but then they rolled through, and they finally had to go on the road to win playoff games at Buffalo, at Baltimore, and then they win the Super Bowl in overtime. It was kind of a dream season and one they should be extremely proud of. Here's Mahomes on it.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the end result was awesome, but I think a lot of us still have a weird feeling in our mouth because we really didn't play the football the way we wanted to play all year long, and it wasn't fun. Every single week having to try to just continue to get better and better, and results not paying off the way you wanted to. It wasn't a lot of fun, and we have a lot of those same guys back.
I think the result was good, but the journey sucked is basically what he said.
I think what he just said there is, hey, we need some fake motivation because we're the number one team in the world right now, and we're two-time defending champions. So we're going to come up with some fake locker room stuff. And our thought is, hey, we lost a couple regular season games. We can't let that happen. So it's 18-0 or bust right now for the Chiefs.
I'm not calling him a liar. I feel like maybe to his standard, they lost some games they shouldn't have lost, and they're trying to find an answer. And come late November, and they lost 2 in a row. They went to Green Bay and lost, and then they came back and lost to Buffalo. Maybe there was some doubt. But talking about it not being fun, I would argue that he would come to a microphone today and say, we learned a lot about ourselves along the way. That we don't have to be perfect, that we can go through some adversity, that we have flipped the switch talent, and when we get in the playoffs, we are always the team to beat. And sometimes we don't arrive at that time at a perfect spot. They won a couple games beating Cincinnati, and then obviously I don't think they needed the last one against the Chargers. But like I said, that playoff run, because that's what I thought he'd hang his hat on, which is, you know what? We weren't perfect in the regular season, but look at what we did in the playoffs, having to go to Buffalo and to Baltimore in a game probably Baltimore should have won. They just didn't abandon the run right out of the gate. And if Lamar would have made a throw that mattered, they win that game. They held Kansas City to 17 points. That was gettable. And then the overtime game against San Francisco, no, I think he's being fairly true to himself, but I think he's got just that GOAT kind of view of things. A perfectionist kind of feel.
And I think that's what makes greatness great, is that, you can win it all and still know that there was room for improvement. I do think it's a little silly to say, he kind of sounded like, yeah, we're happy, thing we won.
You know what it is? It's a little bit of Tiger Woods going out and shooting 64 and saying, that bogey putt I had on 6, probably should have made that. I wasn't driving the ball all that well. Yeah, the 64, the result is great, but I didn't have my A game today. Mm-hmm. And when Tiger Woods came out on the tour and he started talking like that, he rubbed a lot of people wrong when he'd go out and shoot 63, 64 and say, I didn't have my A game.
Yeah.
And I think he was kind of towing that line a little bit. We didn't have our A game, but we did when it counted. But to focus on it wasn't fun is interesting.
That is a lot to say there. To say it wasn't fun when you won a Super Bowl. I understand there might have been more bad days than good throughout the season. But in the end,
I would argue differently.
Well, in the end, only one team got to have beers and raise a Lombardi trophy. So,
No, I think what they proved to people is that they don't have to be perfect. They can have 6 losses and still be the team to beat.
Well, I think that is, interestingly enough, what a lot of people thought with the Chiefs last year is if they get in the playoffs, they're still the Chiefs.
I didn't.
Really?
They proved something to me. Okay. I thought they were gettable. Okay. And it turns out they were until they weren't.
Same guy that doesn't think Tiger can win again.
Pre-snap reads. That's right. Spencer Holbrook, Lettermen Row is up next. We'll ask him about the Buckeye captains. How many will there be? Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
We're the girthiest radio station in the history of radio. Uncomfortably girthy. This promo is uncomfortable. The Fan, Ohio's girth destination.
Are you or a loved one struggling with addiction? Pinnacle Treatment and Recovery Works are here to help guide you on a path to a better life. We offer residential addiction treatment, detox, and opioid treatment programs throughout Ohio that fit your unique needs. We make it easy to get started. We accept Medicaid, most commercial insurance, and our access center is open 24/7. A better life is possible. Visit pinnacletreatment.com/Ohio. Where there is treatment, there is hope.
Integrity, honesty, and quality. Words we live by here at Monogram Homes. Hi, this is Dina. And at Monogram Homes, we strive to bring your wants to your man cave, your needs to your kitchen, and your ideas to life. Most home builders claim to be custom, but starting with stock floor plans and templates isn't our idea of a tailored experience. At Monogram Homes, we start with a blank slate and work with you until you get exactly what you want. So start your true custom home journey today with a builder you can trust. Monogram Homes. Visit us online at monogramhomes.net.
My name is Dr. Ray Tessner. I'm an orthopedic surgeon in Columbus, Ohio. I've been involved with taking care of athletes and aging athletes for over 35 years.
Dr. Ray Tessner knows a thing or two about joint pain, and one thing he's a big believer in right now is regenerative medicine.
The advantage that I see in a regenerative medicine that there's really no downside to it.
Today, you'll find Dr. Tessner at QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in this exciting way to deal with joint pain, using natural, concentrated healing agents from your own body to go to work on achy joints, restoring and repairing damaged tissue.
It's one of the best management tools that's come around in a long time.
Tired of that pain in your knees, hips, back, and shoulder? Before you go under the knife, get a second opinion from QC Kinetics. You really can get lasting relief with no surgery, no drugs, no downtime.
QC Kinetics has become a leader in the regenerative medicine field.
Go to QCkinetics.com/Columbus or call 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544.
Remember how that little girl in Poltergeist was in the TV?
They're here.
Yeah? Well, she's actually dead now. It's quite sad.
Anyway, watch your favorite fan shows on your TV by subscribing to us on YouTube.
Search 971 The Fan.
Do it now.
Nationwide Picnic with the Pops presents the Pride of the Buckeyes, the Ohio State University Marching Band. Don your scarlet and gray and join the Columbus Symphony for a night of fight songs, battle cries, Carmen, Ohio, and more. Special guest appearances include Brutus Buckeye and the Ohio State Cheer Team. Pack your picnic basket and join the fun at the first big tailgate party of the season, topped off with fireworks. July 26th and 27th. Get your tickets today at picnicwithapops.com.
We're dealing at Reichert Nissan. Hundreds of Nissans in stock, on the ground, and priced to sell fast. Low lease payments on brand new Reichert Nissan Sentras, only $229 a month. Now we're really dealing. With our best value guarantee and 72-hour exchange policy, you can't buy the wrong car. Visit the Reichert Mega Mall off 270 and 33 or shop thousands of new and certified used at ReichertNissan.com. Get the right car at Reichert. We're dealing.
With approved credit, 2024 Sentra SR FWD 24 month lease with $3,000 due at signing and $731.24.
Common Man here for Care Heating and Cooling. Weather is unpredictable, but the inside of your home should be comfortable just the way you like it. And the best way to avoid those unnecessary surprises is with a care plan. See, with a care plan, you get priority service, system maintenance in case of an emergency. Just another way to give you and your family peace of mind. And maintaining your systems properly can help save you money. A properly maintained furnace and air conditioner run more efficiently, reducing your utility usage. Regular maintenance also prevents breakdowns and extends the life of your equipment. I'm on the care plan, and I'm quite the expert. I'll stop by and give your system a once-over. I will. Don't tempt me. I end every commercial the same way, telling you to hire Care when you need a company you can trust. It's not just the slogan. That's the Care creed. How about this? Lennox. They have thousands of dealers nationwide. HVAC royalty. Last year, Lennox gave Care their coveted Partner of the Year award because they're trusted by their customers and their partners. Care Heating and Cooling. Call 1-800-COOLING or book an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com when you need a company you can trust.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
There's nothing like ripping off your pants and enjoying some lobster bisque. This is Rothman and Ice.
All right, one of the great guys in the biz, Spencer Holbrook, Ohio State beat reporter for Lettermen Row. He's with us now on the Bryan Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Spence, you know what just hit me?
What's that, AR?
I was watching the SEC Media Days, and I don't know if you've ever gotten this before, but I looked up on the screen like for a half a second, and I took a double take, and I said, wow, Spencer Holbrook resembles Quinn Ewers. Have you ever gotten that before?
No, I've never gotten that before, but if the folks down on the 40 acres want to mistake me for him and just write me a check, that'd be pretty cool.
So here's the problem. What he's not telling you is that after that, he said, boy, Quinn Ewers is pretty ugly.
No, okay, well, stop that.
No surprise coming from Adam there in the other chair.
Exactly. Just making stuff up and trying to spit it out on TV and act like it's facts. That's how he survived. I got to give him a little credit. No, I don't know. I saw it there, and you know what? I was happy you came on today. We were debating the captains for this team. Are you in the camp that – explain how this works to me again. All the players get to vote on captaincy, and then Ryan Day will collect them and see if there's like an overwhelming theme to it, and then he can put his final veto on it. How does this work?
Yeah, I think it's not a full-on mob rule democracy, but I think it's more of like, I don't know, the American system where everybody votes and then it goes up to the electors, and then the electors put in their cast for it. I guess you could say it like that because I think Ryan Day does have ultimate say, but I think the Buckeyes players do a really nice job of identifying those guys, and so I think that it makes the job pretty easy for Ryan Day. And I will say that the character of, I would say 85 out of the 85 on scholarship there, and the walk-ons, of course, kind of make this easy of a process too, because there's not really a bad choice among all those guys.
Well, that's true. How many will they have? I know they've had 6 several years. They knocked it down to 3 last year. We got so many candidates this year. Do you think we'll have? Give me a number that you think they'll have.
I could see it staying at the 3, and it very well could be the 3 that we're going to talk to next week in Indy. But I could also see it being 4, and getting a second offensive captain there, maybe 5. I don't see it getting back up to 6. I think 6 was a little too much. If it does, I won't be entirely shocked because this year, I guess, is a one of those circumstances where you probably do have 6 worthy guys on there. But if they're going to keep it as a small group, I think it should be the 3 or 4.
So, Spencer, we went through this about an hour ago, and the number I landed on, I think there's going to be 9 captains.
That's what I said, Adam. Like, if you really want to make this like a different year and a different feel, then do things differently, right? Yeah. Like Urban used to do 7, 8 sometimes. You felt like there were too many, and you don't want 20% of the roster to be captains. But also, if you feel strongly that guys can be leaders, don't strip them of captaincy just because they happen to be on the same team as other guys who are strong leaders.
So, sorry, go ahead.
It's just one of those things where, like, Tommy Eichenberg was going to be a captain regardless last year. So if there was another guy who deserved that on top with Tommy, then there's no reason to take that away from a guy just because he's also playing with another great leader. And I think that could apply this year. So maybe the 6, 7, 8 captain thing does end up happening.
So real quick, it's not my show. It's Rothman and Ice, not Rothman and King. So I don't want to hijack anything here. But I will say, if I yell a couple names at you, tell me who you think won't be a captain. Because right now,
it's putting him in a tough spot.
Geez.
Well, I'm just saying,
this,
Cody Simon, I feel like has to be a captain. Do you disagree?
I disagree that he has to be one, but I think he could be one.
Okay, Travion Henderson.
I don't think he has to be one, but I think he could be one.
JT Tuimoloau.
No.
Wow.
I would say the most likely guy that's not going to Indy that could be a captain, I think it would be Donovan Jackson.
Mm-hmm. I threw that name out to him last hour as well.
Josh Fryer.
Here. Before you go through the whole roster.
No, let me.
Here's what I feel. I think Spence made a good point. I think when you said if this season has this all-in, take ownership of this season feel so I do feel like you could have more or less depending on. But if you gave it to the 9 that he's talking about, then there would be the case of that a lot of people have ownership of it. Now, then you got a lot of people with their fingerprints on it a little bit, and maybe that's what he wants. It's not that this isn't translating to wins and losses for me. It really isn't. It just has a feel of that maybe it will be different this year, and he'll either keep it as 3 overwhelming voices that he wants or spread the love and really have a lot of guys, Spence, feel like that they have ownership over this team.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that is interesting about this team over all the others is the last few have had like an official spokesperson. Like C.J. Stroud felt like the spokesman for the team in once he got comfortable there in 2022. Last year, who would have been that person? I thought it was Emeka for a while, and then he got hurt, so he kind of faded, and it was really Marvin Harrison Jr. You're asking him about the quarterbacks, you're asking him about the running game, you're asking him about the offensive line. This year, there are so many of those guys. You want Denzel Burke to be a spokesman for the team because he says so many things and really gives this team the confidence it needs. You want Jack Sawyer to do it because he grew up 10 minutes from here and he's a really good player and he's a senior who's been through everything. You'd like for Donovan Jackson because he's got that offensive line wisdom, the brain that's wired a little differently, and he sees things in a little different lens. You want it to be the quarterback because he's a sixth-year kid who's been through a lot of media stuff, potentially if it is Will Howard. So many different guys could be leaders of this team, and I think there's a difference between being a captain and being a leader. Mm-hmm. And I could see them naming, a couple of co-captains, but then also having guys that they feel like are in leadership spots to where they can speak up when they need to, just because they don't have that captaincy next to their name.
Spence, do you feel like there's 1 or 2 big battles at camp, like legit battles? Like we heard from C.J. Hicks this week, and I'm just wondering between him and Styles, how big of a battle you feel that is. Is there something you're really going to be looking at in camp that is a true legit battle at that position?
Yeah, the whole starting role between Sonny and C.J. Hicks is something that I think we really need to explore. With so many guys back, I think there's a couple of spots that are key depth pieces that the second string is almost like competing for a starting job, like defensive tackle, for example. I think that is just as intriguing to me as anything else because I want to know who's the third guy on the field. And I think that's basically a starting role because last year Ty Hamilton didn't start. Mike Hall did, but he played starter reps. If Ohio State wants to get to 16, 17 games, a third defensive tackle, a fourth defensive tackle need to play starter reps. And so I think those are intriguing. Obviously, right guard. I think we've talked about right guard on this program and on the airwaves more than any, and we've done it at Lettermen Row too. Like we talk about right guard, I think almost every day. So there's a few of them. I'm really intrigued as to how the carry load goes between Trayvon Henderson and Quinshon Judkins, but I don't think that's like a job that we need to like truly monitor because it doesn't truly matter.
Right.
But I'd still like to see it. But yeah, I would say backup defensive tackle, which is kind of a cop out because it's not even a starting job. And then right guard, and then obviously that linebacker spot between C.J. Hicks and Sonny Styles.
Okay, Spencer, I want to get back to naming off Buckeyes. Oh, never mind. I'm sorry.
He'll call you after the show. You guys can get together and go over the entire roster and find out who shouldn't be a captain. It's going to be great. It's going to be a great time.
We'll just get the checklist out, and maybe we'll have more guys as captains than not. And we'll have 46 captains and 39 non.
Here, I'll give him Quinn Ewer's number. He can call him instead, and they'll think he's talking to Spencer Holbrook. All right, my man. Good job. Enjoy Indy, and we'll talk again soon.
Thanks, guys. Always appreciate it.
Yep. He's the man. Spencer Holbrook, Lettermen Row on the Bryant Heating Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. All right, we'll come back and play Tell the Truth. Finish it off. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
No hot takes, no dancing, plenty of stupid. Bishop and Friends.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Hey, it's Anthony for the Good Feet store. 3 words for me, pain-free summer. Spent probably 30 hours walking around the Memorial Tournament and felt awesome with my personal arch supports from the Good Feet store in my everyday kicks. Sure, every now and then we all get random foot pain from pickleball or golf or just being a human being. Having my personally fit arch supports in my shoes has made a massive difference. And even right after I put them in, didn't take long to feel much more supported and aligned, and it's so easy to just move them into any pair. Before I had them, I dreaded being on my feet for any length of time. Well, You have nothing to lose but the pain, as they say. It's a free fitting and test walk. Try them for yourself. See the difference it can make. It did for me. And best of all, you can wear them home. 2 locations on Polaris Parkway and Stringtown Road, or schedule an appointment at goodfeet.com. The Good Feet Store, America's arch supports experts.
Skyline is turning up the heat this summer with Hot Met Cheese Conies, made with a premium Hot Met sausage from Queen City Sausage. But don't wait. Hot Met Conies are only at participating Skyline restaurants for a limited time. Come get yours today.
Billiards Plus has everything for the master griller in your house. Come to their showroom, open the lid, and feel the difference in their grills. Professional top quality equipment at great prices with a huge selection ready to go home with you. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career and they talked to me about it.
He was done in just months.
I did do it online.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months with zero experience at My Computer Career.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu.
Hello, loyal listener. Make sure to spend your summer with the Fan. Are you going on a road trip? Don't suffer through the bad playlists and hillbilly radio stations. Download the Fan app and take us with you. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
There's a place where mishaps don't mean missing out. Welcome to AAA's The Plus Side, where a AAA Plus membership means that an empty gas tank won't keep you from a full day, where a flat tire doesn't have to deflate your mood, where being locked out doesn't mean you'll be out of luck for long, and where a dead battery can't stop you from being the life of the party.
Looks like you're all set here. Have a good rest of the day.
Because on the plus side, roadside mishaps don't have to ruin your day. With AAA Plus, you're covered with the gold standard in roadside assistance, whenever and wherever you need it. Tire changes, battery swaps, and emergency fuel are just a tap, click, or call away. AAA gets to you faster, and if you need a tow, we'll take you further, anywhere within 100 miles. Become a AAA Plus member today and experience the peace of mind that comes when you live on the plus side. Towing is subject to a 7-day waiting period. Terms and conditions apply. Service is only available from AAA and CAA in North America.
Direct Auto Insurance is for uncompromisers, the people who refuse to make trade-offs in life. Like Kelly, when her old car insurance got so expensive that she couldn't afford to drive anymore, do you think she started carrying her groceries for miles? No. But she did find Direct Auto's savings that allowed her to drive instead of compromise. With savings of up to 25%, you too can stop compromising and keep driving. Get a quote today at directauto.com. Savings based on applied discounts and will vary. Terms apply. How you buy can affect price. National General Group, Winston-Salem.
Your bathroom is boring and basic too. It seems like there's nothing you can do. A better bath awaits. You'll feel brand new, relaxing in a world of peace at the Bath Authority.
Schedule your free in-home estimate today and get $1,500 off a new shower or bath, plus 36 months of interest-free financing. Restrictions apply.
You're our priority at the Bath Authority.
All your favorite Fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Tell the truth with Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Twin Peaks, home of the 29-degree draft beer.
Let's give Teddy a little credit here for closing the show for us, eating the late innings. In all the years here, I don't think I've ever had a producer come and say, hey, back in 30. I just got one of those.
I was impressed.
And I was like, you know what? That's a pro right there, Teddy. Well done.
Oh, well, thank you. Usually I have to do that just because, sometimes my host is out like playing ping pong or something.
That makes sense.
I have to make sure I round those guys up,
Well done, my man. All right, take us home.
All right. Should Major League Baseball get rid of the Special League All-Star uniforms and let players wear their own team's uniforms?
They should, but they won't. Maybe they could change it if there's enough of the pros themselves that have ripped it socially, and they have. Let's call this for what it is. They want people to buy things. And so when you create new all-star uniforms, that's something else for somebody to buy. What's this whole city collection they're doing? They have to find other ways to keep different generations of consumers and people that already own the stuff to buy new stuff. And that's why they'll probably continue to do an all-star uni. They are doing you do get the logo of the team on the hat. It's just in those colors. I used to love it. I think Teddy could probably correct me if I'm wrong. Back in the day for the NFL Pro Bowl, didn't they wear their own helmets back in?
Yeah, absolutely.
And are they still, what are they wearing for those now?
They don't have a Pro Bowl anymore.
Well, I mean, in the last several years, like in the ones I didn't watch, like, were they still wearing their own helmets?
No, I think they had special ones, right?
Boy, see, that shows you how much I don't watch a Pro Bowl.
I'll say this. When I was watching Paul go up against Aaron Judge last night in the first inning, my thought was, we need these two guys.
Who went up against him?
Paul. Good old Paul.
Yes.
Paul. I mean, he's my
Paul
boy.
the Alien, yeah.
Paul the Alien, Livy Dunn's boyfriend.
That's right.
When they went up, I'm looking at a picture of the Pro Bowl, by the way. They're wearing their hats, their helmets, normal ones.
Their own helmets, but with
and this is Patrick Mahomes, so it's sometime recent.
Okay, by the way, that I like.
Yeah.
I think if they could go to an all-star uni with their own hats, that might do it for me.
Yeah, they also are not wearing helmets in flag football. So with that said, yes, I think they should go to the own team's uniform. I think that would be fun. And then just
You can't handle the truth.
I can't handle the truth. I lied. I didn't watch Paul Skeens and Aaron Judge go at it.
One pitch. If you blinked, you missed it.
Blink, you missed it.
All right. What's more likely to happen at the Open? Tiger making the cut or Scotty Scheffler finishing in the top 5?
This is a fantastic question. And Vegas will tell you that the right answer is Scheffler finishing top 5. That's more likely than Tiger making the cut.
I'm looking
But when you first said it, I started believing that the cushion you get with Tiger just making the weekend in such an unpredictable tournament. But I could also see, because with Scheffler, you know what you're getting, but do you? Because it's the British Open. You don't know where his ball's going to end up. And so he could have one of those kind of weird situations. Do I side with my instincts or do I side with Vegas?
I can't even find. I'm looking for odds for Tiger to make the cut.
Listen, I'm on it. He's probably plus 175 or something like that. You don't need to look.
Plus 115 is what I would say.
No, he's higher than that.
He's higher than that?
Yeah,
I think you have to take Tiger making the cut. Over
Scheffler top 5.
I think you have to, and I understand. Quite frankly, I said this during the Memorial Week. It's remarkable that we've gotten to a point with Scotty Scheffler where we're rapidly approaching would you take Scheffler of the field. With that said, I just think the idea of a links course, and you kind of mentioned this in the break, it can do so much to different golfers. It's almost like
a big number is lurking anywhere.
Yeah, and it's not the same as every other course they play all year. It's just a different atmosphere.
So for the people that are asking, because they're probably asking me, has Scheffler ever finished top 5 at an Open Championship? The answer is no. He hasn't. He hasn't even finished he has finished top 10 his first year. So I'm going to err with my instincts against Vegas. Vegas has Scheffler at plus 125 to finish top 5, and they have Tiger at plus 175 to make the cut. So they're telling you the right answer is Scheffler, but I'm going to go with your guy if I had to make this bet.
My guy.
Did you say I know my truth?
I know my truth.
All right, here's today's fan poll at 971thefan.com. The Crew, they've won their last 5 matches by multiple goals. Will they continue that streak tonight against Charlotte?
Yes. Next question. No, the Crew are on an absolute tear right now. What they did out in L.A., I mean, the idea that they took on the top team in the West, went out to their stadium and beat them 5-1. You can't convince me that I wouldn't pick them to lose to anybody. I wouldn't pick them to not score 4 goals in a game right now. Wilfried Nancy said it gives them goosebumps how well they're playing right now, and I think those goosebumps continue.
I'm not going to lie to you and tell you I know what Charlotte is all about, but I do know what the Crew is all about, and they're all about winning games and scoring multiple goals. So I'm going to say their streak continues, yes.
He ain't lying.
Okay, Colin, he's not here, obviously, because he went to check out Yellowstone. So
Jellystone?
Nice. Yeah, that'd be nice. Yeah.
He's going to see Yogi?
Yes, absolutely. What national parks have you guys visited or would like to visit?
I don't know if I have.
Just recently, actually back, you got to go, it's just like a year ago, I went out to Joshua Tree National Park.
Oh, that sounds
I was
amazing.
in Palm Springs, Palm Beach, whichever one is in California, for a golf trip. And one of my buddies said, hey, I want to go.
Palm Springs.
Yeah, I want to go to see Joshua Tree. And so we drove an hour in our golf trip to go see Joshua Tree. And we went in the wrong entrance. And so we went in like the back door, and it was just desert. There was nothing there. Didn't see a Joshua Tree. And we had to leave because we had 22 miles of gas, and the whole park itself was 50 miles. And so we were going to get stranded.
It was nighttime, and you were wearing sunglasses?
Yeah, exactly. We were not in a good position to get home.
Wow.
There you go.
Maybe you're on some of that stuff that Aaron Rodgers takes, and you guys just didn't know where to go.
Well, it's, my buddy said he wanted to climb a rock just so he could say he went rock climbing in Joshua Tree, and he climbed up on not even taller than this chair.
The fact that you wanted to enter the park after dark tells me everything I need to know.
I mean, got to have some fun,
I mean, I know the roads are marked and the park is probably patrolled, but you know what? I always heard my mom and stepdad talk about Estes Park in Colorado, just how beautiful it was and is. So I'll follow. I'll tell you what, Teddy, anywhere where there's a nice hot spring, not like the hot springs.
The YMCA.
Not the Turkish baths, not that hot spring, but I would say this, not the hot spring in the remake of Vacation, the movie. Did you guys ever see the remake?
Oh, the new one with the guy from The Office?
Yes,
Eddie. I've seen clips of it.
It's actually pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah, not that hot spring.
Okay.
And the truth shall set you free.
All right, if you missed anything from the show, check out the pod. Go to the show page. Anywhere we get your podcast, type in Rothman and Ice. Adam Schefter earlier today. Nicole Sheeran, we had on the brand new 10 TV sports reporter. She's going to be a big hit in this market. I can see and hear why she got the job for sure. You can listen to that interview. And, of course, the one we just did with Spencer Holbrook / Quinn Ewers. You can get it all. Adam, thank you. Go to work now.
All right. Now the real day starts.
Absolutely.
I'll see you back here tomorrow, same time, same place.
Will you be carrying a tripod today?
I will
not.
be. I just put the tripod in the car.
Now there's a man of integrity.
Yeah, I just put the tripod in the car.
Teddy, what's coming up on Common Man and T-Bone?
Well, today we'll be talking with our buddy Jeff Remmer, so maybe we'll get his thoughts on what's going on with the Blue Jackets coaching job and where that's headed.
Absolutely, and find out what national park he wants to wander around in after dark.
I imagine they'll have a coach by September.
We will come back tomorrow, Adam or not. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
Big voice guy here to remind you that you're listening to the Fan, Ohio's sports destination. Okay, thanks. I have 3 more seconds. Bye-bye. This is a Fan Action Update.
Big Ten Action Update. The Nebraska Cornhuskers are tied for the 7th best odds to win the Big Ten this year at 65-1. Tied with Washington. The Cornhuskers season win totals at 7.5 games. Nebraska's non-conference schedule includes games against UTEP, Colorado, and Northern Iowa. Week 1, Nebraska's a 27.5-point favorite over UTEP. For your Action Update, I'm Scotty Vegas.
If you're listening to this and you're not already keeping it easy in your backyard with a Bud Light, well, consider this message a gentle reminder. Your backyard is waiting, and so is that Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Bud Light. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hey, it's Anthony Rothman. Help me get the MLS All-Star Game party started at Rally House in Reynoldsburg for a special event this Sunday. I'll be there 10 to noon. Meet former crew player Alejandro Moreno for a picture and autograph from 1 to 2. Even get a special MLS house-branded rally towel as a gift with purchase for the first 150 customers starting right at high noon. It's all this Sunday. Rally House is much more than just another sports store. Located in the shops at East Broad in Reynoldsburg, show your colors at Rally House. See you Sunday.
I've been doing this for almost 35 years. I learned everything from my grandfather. We still do everything old school. We do things the way I was taught to do them. We take care of our employees, we take care of their families, we take care of our clients. That's part of running a good business. We will always do business the right way, which I feel is the only way.
Visit Rosati Windows and save 35% on all windows.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Let's talk about your sleep, specifically if you're not getting enough of it. If you're feeling groggy all day because you didn't sleep well, that is an awful feeling. I've been there. And if you're snoring when you sleep, well, that could be a big reason why you aren't feeling rested. This fact surprised even me the first time I heard it, and that is as you age, your risk of having obstructive sleep apnea nearly doubles. That's right. You need to find out if your snoring is related to sleep apnea, because if it is, there's actually help available for you right now. Dr. Mark Levy is board certified in the treatment of sleep apnea, and he offers a custom-fitted oral appliance that effectively treats sleep apnea. I have been telling you about this for years. And maybe you've been snoring for years. Now's the time to get this fixed. Plus, most Medicare patients have little to no out-of-pocket costs for this treatment. So you need to stop putting it off. Don't ignore your snore. Get your sleep apnea treated by calling Dr. Mark Levy today at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP. Get the life back you deserve. Call Dr. Mark Levy today, 1-800-MORE-SLEEP, or visit him online at sleepbettercolumbus.com.
Now at UDF, buy 3 everyday favorites with UDrive Plus to quickly stack an extra 20 cents in gas savings. That includes drinks like Coke and Sprite, Pepsi, and Mountain Dew. And that adds up. UDF, made for you. Specially marked products with an opted-in UDrive account.
This is Paul Keels for Nature Stone Flooring, a unique blend of natural stone and their specially formulated epoxy expertly installed over existing concrete. Nature Stone is the only flooring solution for garages, basements, and indoor spaces. Family owned and operated since 1989, no other company or product can match the features, benefits, and unconditional warranty of an authentic Nature Stone floor. Visit naturestone.com today and schedule your cost estimate. Act now and save up to 50% off any Nature Stone floor. It's not just a floor, wow, it's Nature Stone.